accused cases against the defendants. Please remember that when I address your cases, you have a right to remain silent. Anything that you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you in the treatment of your case. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. Speaking of attorneys, if you are an attorney, please keep your video on, but keep your audio muted until we are addressing your cases. If you are an attorney, please keep your video on, but keep your audio muted until we are addressing your cases. If you're an alleged victim, a witness, a family member, or a witness here in support or against a defendant, switch your video off and keep it muted until you see the defendant whose case you want to address. Switch your video off and keep it muted. Otherwise, we'll have to do it for you. All right. And make sure your correct name is on the screen. Thank you. Okay, courtroom 2, let's begin. Who do we have first?
We got position 13, Ms. Holiday.
Okay. This is State versus Deshonda Samantha Holiday, case 25 CR 7627J, accused of terroristic threats and acts and criminal trespass causing damage to property. Ms. Holiday, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Bader. Would you be, or is it Mr. Merrill? Mr. Merrill, you representing her?
No.
Me, Your Honor.
Ms. Bader? Okay, got it. Any priors, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
7 cycles. Last arrest was October 3rd, 2024 out of Clayton County for driving while license suspended or revoked. There was no disposition listed for this case. There does appear to be an active probation case out of Douglas County for financial transaction card theft and identity theft fraud. Sentenced July 15th, 2024 to 5 years probation. In addition, there is a 2021 conviction for driving while license suspended and 2023 obstruction. Nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Brown, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. It
Yes,
is
sir.
good to see you, and I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
We did. Good to see you too. And what's your recommendation for Miss Holiday?
Your Honor, based on the facts of this case, we're going to be recommending that she be given a bond as to the terroristic threats or acts count, $1,500 good bond, and as to the criminal trespass and damage to property, a $1,500 good bond as well. We'd ask that she have no further contact with the victims in this case, that she be required to stay away from the incident location, that she be required to relinquish any and all weapons if she has any for the time being, because there were threats of violence and there was a presumption that she did have a firearm on her person at the time. And we would also ask, Your Honor, that she be required to have no alcohol or drugs during the pendency of this case.
Okay. Our litigation managers, we're going to have to write down the name of the alleged victims, or the incident location. So, Mr. Brown, could you allocate those, please?
Absolutely, Your Honor. My apologies. I went right past that. The alleged victim in this case would be her mother, Miss Xavier Holiday, and is the common spelling, Xavier Holiday.
Yes.
And yes, and it would also be, Your Honor, the location as to for the other information that you're looking for is just 1 second.
Yeah, the prosecutors have that information. That'll be great, because
the
I didn't
address
write them
is
down. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sure. Yes, Your Honor. The address, it appears to be 3871 Red Wine, that is all one word, Road, Southwest Atlanta, Georgia, 30331.
All right. And if there is a Miss Xavier Holiday who wants to address the court, please unmute. You need to unmute in order to be heard. There, okay. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
How do you know Miss Deshonda Holiday?
That's my daughter.
All right. And what would you like to tell us?
I spoke with the prosecutor and I was asking her with the bond condition, could you all require that she get some type of counseling and therapy?
And what kind of counseling and therapy would we be able to provide?
Uh, uh, it was like she was on a rampage, and just for the protection of herself, anyone else. So it's like she need counsel. She experienced a life tragedy.
All right,
That
and is she currently seeking any kind of treatment?
no, and I think she needs some like this. Like she's in court, so I had shared it with the prosecutor. Maybe they can show it to you, but it was something that happened with her as a child, and I have got her counseling in the past, but I think it's something that she needs to. It's something that keeps her and her. So for the protection of herself and others, I think I would like for her to have to get counseling and therapy.
And your street address is Red Wine what?
Red Wine Road,
And the city is?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much. Mr. Merrill? Oh, Miss Badair, excuse me.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Holliday is 31 years old. She works at Imperial Day as a lead forklift operator. She does have a good address where she can live with her grandfather, and she also has a brother in the area. Judge, we're fine with a stay away as long as she has a one-time police escort to gather the rest of her belongings. I will note she is 14 weeks pregnant. Judge, we're asking if a signature bond is not possible in this case for the bond not to exceed a $2,000 good bond, 1,000 on each. Thank you.
Yep. On the terroristic threats, that's going to be 2,500. On the criminal trespass causing damage to property, it's going to be 1,500. This is a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 2. No further contact with Xaviera, Xaivera Holiday.
Yes.
She's to stay away from 3871 Red Wine Road in Atlanta, Georgia. If she has any personal belongings at the Red Wine Road location, she's allowed a one-time visit with a police officer to retrieve her belongings, and that visit cannot exceed 1 hour. Within 30 days, she must advise the court of her new residential address. Also, within 10 days, within 30 days, she is to enroll or undertake an MH or a BH evaluation and treatment with a qualified healthcare provider and be compliant with all treatment, medication, and or counseling. No illegal drugs, no alcohol beverages, and she's not allowed to own or possess any firearms. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I don't know. I'm all for what's in the business. She'll be at her grandfather's house.
I don't know where she'll be living, Miss Holiday. That's something that she needs to let the court know.
Okay. No, I was asking for because she have 3 kids, and I know she's not gonna because
It's entirely up to her when she comes to the house, who or what she takes.
Okay.
As long as it's not a firearm.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Next case, please.
And Your Honor, I did see the South Annex had logged on, but just
Do you need to speak with her or him?
No, I've already spoken with him.
All right.
I don't see his mom on, but I do see. I was just letting you know that they did log on.
All right. Courtroom 2, who should we go to next?
The South Annex case, Judge.
All right. South Annex, if the deputy is there, please unmute and start your video.
And he's going to be your position 19, Your Honor.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's Kenneth Prophet.
Mhm. I don't know if the deputy is there to assist right now, but
Position
we
1.
can. All right. As soon as the deputy unmutes the device at South Annex, we can address it. But in the meantime, we can go to Gerard Andrews, position 1, case 25 CR 7630F. Mr. Andrews is accused of theft by taking from November 23rd of this year. You've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Bader. Any priors?
11 cycles. Last arrest was in 2017 for a failure to appear out of Forsyth County. There's a 2013 driving while without a valid license, 2014 willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, also 2014 theft by receiving stolen property, and 2017 possession of a Schedule II and possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Brown, what's your recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. Here, this case suggests that he took the property of an Amazon package from the concierge area where packages are delivered, and using the video footage, the officers determined that there was no other person to be in that vicinity around or about the time the package was taken, valued at about $150. Here in this case, given his history and having a prior, I believe, theft type charge, we're going to be asking for a $2,000 good bond, Your Honor. No further contact with the victim, who in this case would be Miss Jessica
Abraham?
Yes, Abraham. And there would be, I do believe he currently resides at that location based upon the way the facts read. So I wouldn't be asking for a stay away, but I would just be asking for any other conditions you deem necessary or proper given this kind of unique circumstance.
All right, thank you. Ms. Bader?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Andrews is 32 years old. That is correct. He does currently reside at that address. I will say that the building is split into two. There's a specific office area where the packages are and a specific building where his residence is. So we would ask for no stay away. If necessary, his fiance can retrieve a package if she orders something. He does have a good job. He works as a maintenance technician at Harbor View Health System. He is a high school graduate. As you heard, his last arrest was in 2017, Your Honor, and he does deny these allegations. So we are asking for a signature bond in this case. Thank you.
All right. Bond's going to be at $2,000. It's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services, level 2. He will report to pretrial services twice a month. He is to have no further contact with Jessica Abraham and to stay at least 20 yards away from her. He's also not to visit the mailroom or the leasing office or the common areas if Miss Abraham happens to be about, but he cannot visit the mailroom until until this case is resolved. Thank you. Next court date will be sent to his address at that Northside Parkway location.
Thank you.
He'll need to figure out a different way to get his own mail, but he can't go to that mail room that's used by all the other tenants of the property. Thank you.
Judge, we can go to position 19, Mr. Prophet, South Annex.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, Deputy at South Annex, please unmute and start your video. Thank you, sir. This is Kenneth Lamar Prophet, accused of fair evasion, possession of a pistol by an individual under the age of 18, and giving false information to an officer from November 27th of this year, case 25 CR 7618B. Mr. Prophet, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Mr. Merrill. Any priors, Ms. Harvey?
No, Your Honor. First arrest.
Mr. Brown or Ms. Bickerstaff? Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Judge Law. It's mine. The state's recommendation in this case is a $3,000 split bond, Your Honor, for the fair evasion and for the given false name. The state will be asking for a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial services. And then for the possession of a pistol, the state is asking for a $1,000 surety bond on that charge. Just briefly for a recitation of the facts, on yesterday at the H.E. Holmes MARTA station, the defendant was seen by by security or an officer at the station follow another patron through the gates. When he was stopped, he was asked for his ID, and which resulted in an arrest. Once he was arrested, he was searched and they found a pistol on his waistband. And when asked for his name, he gave the name Jerry L. Preston when his name is Kenneth Profit. So that's the reason for the state's recommendation.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Merrill?
Yes, Your Honor. So before us is Mr. Kenneth Prophet. He's 17 years old. I did speak with his mother, Miss Khadijah Prophet. I was expecting her to be on the Zoom. I emailed the link over to her. Again, I don't see her at least listed as her name, but she also mentioned that she would be the co-signer on the bond if he needs an adult co-signer. Her name for spelling purposes, Khadijah, spelled Khadijah, and that is the same as his last name. I'm putting it into the chat now.
Actually, my last name is different.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I can't get the video up, but good afternoon, everyone.
Miss, there we go. All right.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, what's your name, please?
Khadijah Ferguson.
Ms. Ferguson, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
And what would you like to tell us?
I just wanted to see if there's like a program or something that he will be able to get into.
What kind of program were you thinking of?
Well, I wanted to see what was the charges going to be first to see if it's a program or anything that he will be able to get into.
He's charged with if not paying the fare at a model property, giving false information to an officer, and possession of a firearm by an individual under the age of 18.
Okay. And so with this being his first time being in trouble, what does this mean?
This is an open active criminal case against him. He will get a bond and he'll be required to comply with the conditions and report to court when summoned. And if the case goes to trial and the state proves the charges against him beyond a reasonable doubt, he could be looking at up to a year in prison and or up to $1,000 fine for at least 2 of those offenses.
Okay.
And Miss Ferg, oh, sorry.
Right now, we're just considering bond.
Yes, sir.
And I just wanted to make sure I spelled your last name correctly. Ferguson spelled Ferguson?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. Yes, Mr. Merrill, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. And so, Your Honor, my client, as I indicated, he is 17 years old. He's been living in Georgia over 10 years. He does have a valid address out of Fulton County, Your Honor, so he doesn't pose significant risk for any of the Ayala factors, Your Honor. I was made known that he was recently stabbed within a year or so, Your Honor. And so I just mentioned that because that's probably a reason that may give a little credence to the why he is in possession of a pistol. Not saying that it is perfectly okay, but that just may be one of the contributing factors. Be as it may, Your Honor, I am asking, as the state indicated, a signature bond on the fare evasion and giving false information. I'm not sure if the law allows for a signature bond on the pistol charge. If so, I would be asking for a high signature bond, whether it's $5,000 SOB. But if it can't be if it cannot be a signature bond, Your Honor, I would just ask that you allow it to be a 1,000 surety, as the state indicated. But I wasn't sure if it was a restricted offense.
On the fare evasion is going to be a 500 signature bond through the jail. On giving false information to an officer is going to be a $1,000 signature bond through the jail. The possession of a pistol is going to be a $1,500 surety. This is going to be a $3,000 split bond. He would need to pay on the $1,500 portion, either through a bonding company or out of his own pocket. He's to stay away from all MARTA property. He's not allowed to use any MARTA services until further order of the court. He's not allowed to have any firearms on his person, in his home, on his possession, or anywhere near him. And he is to continue attending school and or enroll in a GED program if he's not in school.
Yes.
And he's subject to a curfew. He's to be home by 6 p.m. and he doesn't leave his house until 7 a.m.
And you're
Okay, I'm sorry. I have a quick question. I'm so sorry. He works. He's been working at his job for about 7 to 8 months now. And he
All right.
works and he don't get off of work until 11, 12 o'clock. And his way to get to and from work is through the bus.
He'll not be able to take that. You'll need to figure another way to get to work. The
Okay,
exception,
that's fine. I can do that. I will pick him up and drop him off. I can do that. But
I think that
the
would be
curfew,
best. The
I'm sorry?
curfew still stays in
Uh-huh.
place. The exceptions of when he can be outside his curfew is if he has to attend a medical facility, if he has to go to court, if he has to go to work, or if he has to go to school.
Okay.
These are the 4 exceptions.
and you're
Okay.
would you I understand you want him to have a stay away, but if Marta has not banned him from the property, will the court be able to allow him? Because I'm not sure if they banned him for fair evasion.
Mr. Merrill, this is a young individual attending a public facility with a gun.
Yes, but
I'm
my
going to require him to stay away until this case is resolved.
okay. I mean, and that's fine. I was just, as a defense, I have to ask, and so
I agree.
that's my job, is to make sure that I advocate for my client.
Next case, please.
Let me start off. All right. Position 2,
All right.
Mr.
Ms. Ferguson, you're free to go. South Annex, we are concluded. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Position 2, Mr. Bambino.
Corey John Babino is accused of driving under the influence of alcohol less safe, driving under the influence of alcohol per se, and following too closely. This is from October 4th, 2025, accusation 25 CR 7632G. Mr. Babino, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be, is it Mr. Merrill? Ms. Badir? Okay, thank you. Okay, and any priors, Ms. Harvey?
2 out of Georgia and 25 out of Louisiana. Last arrest was out of Clayton County for a DUI from November 13th of this year. There was no disposition for this case. It appears that the last conviction was out of Louisiana from 2009 for possession of drugs. I am showing a hold out of Fairburn, Georgia for a DUI case from October 5th and nothing further.
From Fairburn?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Brown or Ms. Bickerstaff?
Yes,
Whoever-
Your Honor, it would be me.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. And given those recitation of facts, Your Honor, we're going to be asking in this case, Your Honor, if you would, well, one, I would ask as to the DUI. This case, as you know, Your Honor, is consists of a DUI, and I believe he has a prior, if I heard correctly.
He has an arrest from for DUI out of Clayton County on November 13th after this incident. And it
Yes.
appears he has a DUI from Fairburn, Georgia,
Yes.
according to the recitation on October 5th.
And
Yes.
Your Honor, that appears to be this case. This warrant is from this warrant. The date says October 4th, and it says Fairburn.
Okay.
Okay, Your Honor. As to the charges on the calendar, I would be asking for the DUI under the influence less safe, a $2,500 good bond. I'd ask for the DUI under the influence of alcohol, which is really a per se charge, Your Honor, for a $1,500 signature bond. As to the driving too closely, I'd be asking for a $1,500 good bond on that, Your Honor, with the conditions that he have no driving, no alcohol or drugs without a prescription, random screens, that he have any other conditions that you deem necessary and proper given the charges before you, Your Honor, at this time.
Thank you. Ms. Patel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. For the record, Mr. Babino did indicate having previously hired private counsel, but the fact that there wasn't an entry and he did request my services today, I'll move forward with the bond hearing for this limited appearance today. He is 55 years old. He has been in the Metro Atlanta area for about 15 years. He's currently looking for work. Your Honor, at this point in time, he does indicate he doesn't have anyone to bond him out. I understand that this might be a restricted charge, but if it's not, we would be asking for a signature bond. Otherwise, we're asking this court to consider a low cash bond, if not for the bond not to exceed $2,000. Thank you.
On the driving under the influence of alcohol, less safe, that's going to be a 3,500 surety bond. On count 2, is going to be a 3,500 signature bond through pretrial services level 3. And on the following 2 closely is going to be a 1,500 pretrial services level 3. Total bond is an 8,500 split bond. Once he makes bond on count 1, he'll be required to report to pretrial services once a week. He's not allowed to consume any alcoholic beverages, no illegal drugs, and is not allowed to own or possess any firearms. I will require him to be mandatorily screened a minimum period of once a month. So this will be mandatory screening for drugs, illegal drugs and or alcohol. And he's not allowed to operate any vehicle until further order of the court. No driving. If he qualifies for a limited driving permit, he would need to petition the court to amend his bond order from no driving to allow for limited driving in accordance with DDS rules. Thank you.
Judge, let me get that breakdown again.
Count 1, driving under the influence, less safe, is 3,500 surety. Count 2, DUI, driving under the influence, concentration of more than 0.08, is going to be 3,500 signature bond through pretrial level 3. Following 2 closely is 1,500 signature bond through pretrial level 3, 8,500 split bond. Next court date is going to be December 11th.
So we go to position 26, Mr. Williams.
26. Okay. This is State versus Joseph Williams, accused of simple assault family violence from October 18th of this year. Case 25 CR 7622G. Mr. Williams, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Ms.
Morel.
Morel? Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. And Ms. Harvey, any priors on Mr. Williams?
Yes, Your Honor. 31 cycles. Last arrest was May 22nd, 2025, out of Fulton County for willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, reckless driving, and fleeing or attempting to elude a police officer. Appears to have an open case out of Fulton County for aggravated assault under 25 SC 003643. Also, the last arrest from May 22nd, 2025 appears to be open under 25 PI 004080, and there also appears to be an open case for simple battery under 23 CR 004266G. The last conviction was from 2007 for possession of tools, and there's a 2006 conviction for burglary, and nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Brown? Oh, Ms. Bickerstaff, excuse me.
Yes, Your Honor. Just briefly, on yesterday at 1904 Tremont Drive in Northwest Atlanta, officer spoke to a Miss Queen Purdue. She stated that her brother, who is the defendant, they were arguing, and that is when her brother made a fist gesture at her. Another brother had to come break the incident up between them, and that brother also told the police that he saw the defendant clench his fist up at his sister. So given the facts of this case and the open cases that deal with violence, the state's recommendation is a $3,000 cash bond. I'm asking for no further contact with Ms. Purdue to get a one-time escort to the incident location, as that's where he and his sister live. And also no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. Ms. Purdue is on Zoom, so the state would sound for her at the appropriate time.
Ms. Purdue, if you want to contribute to the proceeding, please raise your right hand.
All right.
Lower your device, please, so we can see you.
My granddaughter having to help me with this. Okay, can you see me now?
Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
I do.
and what would you like to tell us?
My brother, okay, this is the family home. My sister and I are in charge of it. It was left to us. And
he's given trouble for the last 10 years. 3 judges have ordered him off the property. He come back the same day. He don't have any respect for the law.
What's the address? What's the address?
1904 Tremont Drive, Northwest Atlanta.
Is that TROMT?
No.
TRE?
TREMONT, 1E. TREMONT Drive, Northwest Atlanta, Georgia.
All right. Thank you so much.
And
that's
you want
good.
me to?
No, that's good. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Merrill?
Yes, Mr. Williams, he's 70 years old, Your Honor. He is a lifelong resident, even with 31 cycles, Your Honor. You didn't hear that he had any FTAs, Your Honor, which which signals that he is not a significant risk from fleeing from our jurisdiction, Your Honor. He does have children, but they're all grown, Your Honor. I would mention that, Your Honor, that Mr. Williams, he has severe arthritis in his fingers. And so it's my understanding that he also is an amputee, is that he can't completely all the way straighten his fingers. One thing I will point out in the warrant, it says that Mr. Williams was actually bleeding from his eye, Your Honor. And so from my understanding and reading of the warrant, that even if there was a verbal altercation, at some point, Mr. Williams was hit in his eye where the officer has actually observed him bleeding, Your Honor. If a verbal altercation occurred and then he was the one that was struck, Your Honor, that would make someone else their primary aggressor, Your Honor. But be as it may, Your Honor, he is retired, Your Honor. I have spoken to Miss Queen. She did indicate, Miss Purdue. Queen is her first name. Miss Purdue, that she did indicate same information that she relayed to the court. But she also indicated that she's not opposed to him being released. She just wants him to stay away from the property. To that extent, Your Honor, I would ask if I understand you're concerned about his open cases, Your Honor. I would ask if you would set a signature bond. If not, I would not ask that you set a cash only bond, Your Honor, as he would not have no means to be able to pay the bond. And so I would ask that the bond is set, and if you're not inclined to give a signature bond, a bond that's set no higher than a $1,000 or $2,000 surety bond, Your Honor, as indicated in the warrant. He was the one who was bleeding from his eye.
All right. Thank you. Bond is set at $1,500. This is a surety bond. No further contact with Queen Purdue. He needs to stay 200 yards away from 1904 Tremont Drive in Northwest Atlanta. He's not allowed to return to that location at all. We are going to reset this case to December 11th. Please mute Miss Purdue, Miss Grace or Miss Lewis. As I was saying, this case is going to be reset to December 11th, along with his other case, 23 CR 004266G. Courtroom 2, please unmute. Mr. Williams, you have been advised of your right to remain silent. If you choose to waive your right to remain silent, anything you say can and will be used against you in the treatment of your open cases. It's up to you if you want to say something will be against counsel's advice.
Yes, Mr. Williams, I wouldn't advise because she did give you a surety bond. Now, remember, if you say anything, she can go up or down, but go ahead.
Well, I need to speak. I don't have any money that I'm begging for a signature bond. Please, ma'am.
You have too many open cases. You have shown a track record of an inclination. You don't qualify.
How much time I need to do for all of them? I can't get out. I can't straighten my fingers out. I can't fight nobody.
We will see you on December 11th. Thank you.
But anyway, now, can I have a signature bond, please?
You don't qualify, sir.
Position 2, Mr. Beatty.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that again? Courtroom 2?
Position 3, Mr. Beatty.
3. Thank you. Dustin Allen Beatty, B-A-I-T-Y, is accused of simple battery family violence from November 26th of this year. Case 25 CR 7633B. Mr. Beatty, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Mr. Merrill. Ms. Bader, I'm so sorry. Shall I assume that you do the first half and Mr. Merrill does the second half?
Yes,
That is correct.
All right, and
Actually.
then if I'm incorrect, just correct me as we go along.
Okay.
Mr. Frankie Correas, if you're not involved in this case, please switch your video off. All right, thank you. As I was saying, Mr. Beatty, okay, he's been advised of his case. Any priors, Ms. Harvey?
No, Your Honor, this is the first arrest.
Thank you. And Mr. Brown?
Sorry, Judge, I couldn't get my audio to switch on. Your Honor, based on this being his singular arrest in time, this was an issue that started off as a verbal dispute, altercation, allegedly because the defendant was intoxicated, and then it turned physical when he pushed the victim in this case, Mr. Franklin Correas. Your Honor, we would be asking simply, given that this is his a singular arrest and with no prior history, a $1,500 signature bond, no further contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location. He is to have no alcohol or drugs without a prescription. He is to do an anger management course, if you will, Your Honor, through pretrial services. We would also ask that you implement any other conditions you believe are appropriate in this circumstance. That is all, Your Honor.
Mr. Correas, if you want to say something, this is the time to unmute. If you don't want to say anything, you can remain muted.
I just want to say that this was all like just
Raise your right hand.
right.
You solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge.
Yes, this is the truth.
Okay, what would you like to tell us?
It was just we left a birthday party and we got back and we did have alcohol, but it was not violent. It was mostly just yelling, and it was us disagreeing on who was going to stay in the apartment and who was going to leave, and he ended up getting arrested for that. Like there was no, he didn't hit me. He didn't, at most we like shoved each other.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Madera is going to be $1,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1. He reports to pretrial telephonically once a month, and he'll need to complete 4 anger awareness classes. No illegal drugs, no alcoholic beverages, and we'll see him in court based on his current mailing address. Thank you.
Thank you.
Was there any no further contact or further violent contact?
No further violent contact with Frank Correas.
Okay, and there's no stay away, right?
No stay away.
Thank you.
Position 4, Mr. Ellison.
All right, Mr. Correas, you can leave the Zoom. Position 4, I have Diego Elazar, accused of battery and possession and use of drug-related objects. Case number 25 CR 7624C. Just 1 second, please. Okay. And Mr. Elazar, Diego Elazar is case number, I've already said the case number. You've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Bader. Any priors?
Yes, Your Honor. 30 cycles total, multi-state offender with arrests out of Georgia, New York, South Carolina, and Virginia. Last arrest was out of Cobb County from March 25th, 2023 for a failure to appear. There does appear to be an open case for criminal possession of a controlled substance and unlawful possession of marijuana out of New York. It's from 2017, Your Honor. There's no disposition listed. He does appear to be on probation out of Cobb County for aggravated battery, sentenced November the 8th, 2023 to 7 years probation. In addition, there's a 2018 DUI conviction, 2012 possession of marijuana less than an ounce, 2007 aggravated harassment, robbery, and 2006 DUI. Also a 2014 assault conviction out of South Carolina, and nothing further.
Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, this defendant, Mr. Diego Eleazar, this case is curious at best. The defendant and the victim are complete strangers. The victim was walking down the road near Skymark when the defendant approached him in a very confrontational manner, verbally harassing him as he passed along. At which point he then observed the defendant coming toward him and struck him in the face multiple times, leaving visible injury to him. Law enforcement was called. They arrived, saw the defendant. He was taken into custody, and at that time, he was found in possession of a crack pipe. We would be asking, Your Honor, given the facts of this case, which seem to be due to the objects found on his person, we would be asking that he, as to count one, a $2,500 good bond, as to count two, a $1,500 good bond, that he stay away from the location of 3841 Washington Road in East Point, Georgia, that he have no further contact with the victim in this case, Mr. Melese or Melesse, Melese, Neguse, Neguse, that he have no weapons and no drugs or alcohol without a prescription, random screens, and that will be all.
Ms. Bader?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Elazar is 39 years old. We don't have an objection to the conditions. However, he was supposed to start a construction job today. And he was also supposed to start a second job, a warehouse job on Monday. And he does contribute to funds for 2 children. So, in that sense, we are hoping if we can reduce that bond. If he's not eligible for a signature bond through pretrial services, then if the bond could not exceed $2,000. Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't qualify for a signature bond. On the battery, it's going to be $1,750, and on the possession of drug-related object is $750. His total bond is $2,500. This is a surety bond. Next court date is December 11th. No further contact with Melesse, Neguse, Neguse, and stay away from the Skymart entire location, 3841 Washington Road in East Point. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. Thank you.
I got position 7, Mr. Fong.
Okay.
Is that right?
Ismail Fong is accused of simple assault, family violence, and simple battery, family violence, case 25 CR 7638A. Mr. Fong, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is Ms. Bader, and your priors, Ms. Harper?
No, Your Honor, first arrest.
All right. Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor. This appears to be a dispute that took place on the 26th between siblings. We do not really know, exactly what the dispute was, but given his limited history and the fact that, Your Honor, as you've already heard, this is his first arrest, we would be asking for him to be given a bond as follows. As to the simple assault, family violence, we would be asking for $1,000 SOB. As to the simple battery, we'll be asking for $1,000 SOB. We will be asking, Your Honor, that he have no further, I would say no further violent contact at this time with the victim in this case, who is Zara Fong, his sister, Zahra Fong. He'd be required to take complete anger management courses, 4, if you will, Your Honor. That he'd be required to have no alcohol or drugs without a prescription while out on bond, that he'd be required to, I think that was all. I wouldn't say stay away because I'm not sure, Your Honor, if he still lives there, but I would just say no further violent contact at this time.
Zara Fong, if you are on Zoom, this is the time to unmute and start your video. All right, Ms. Bader, on the simple assault, it's going to be $1,500. On the simple battery, it's going to be $1,500. This is a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 1. He's to have no further violent contact with Zara Fong. If he wants to live or have communication with her, he's more than welcome to, but there cannot be any physical or verbal altercations with her. Within 30 days of being released, he will enroll and complete a domestic violence intervention program. This is a series of 24 weeks of classes, and he will need to attend and complete all of them at his expense. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. And his next court date will be sent to his current address. If he changes his address, make sure we're the first folks to find that out in writing. Thank you.
And Your Honor, would you consider amending the FIP class to an anger management class? Just for context, this is a sibling situation, and I believe she's moved to Texas. And he's a college student at Georgia State, and
Oh,
he's
then that's perfect. Domestic violence is a unique animal that requires DBIP and not anger management. Anger management is not a program tailored for domestic violence cases. So he'll be required to do that. And hopefully, once he completes it satisfactorily, the state may consider a favorable outcome, since that's one of the requirements for a diversion program. Thank you.
understood.
Position 8, Mr. Ford.
Tion Unique Forbes is accused of simple battery family violence from January 23rd of this year. His case is 25 CR 7623Y. Mr. Forbes, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Bader. Any priors?
No, Your Honor, first arrest.
Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor. As you have heard, this is Mr. Forbes' first arrest, and given that, Your Honor, excuse me, the state would be amenable to a bond that is not so high, and it would be a signature bond. We'd be asking for a $1,500 SOB bond with the conditions, Your Honor, that he be required to complete 4 anger management courses, that he be required to have no further contact. In this case, he is alleged to have gotten upset with Michaela Williams. Michaela is spelled Michaha. YLA. Williams is the common spelling, and says that she was jumped by that he in this situation actually held her down while other parties, his sisters, fought her. And it started from a verbal altercation at a home that was shared. I'd be asking for no further no further contact whatsoever. That he is to remain a total of 200 yards away from her, nonetheless. I would also ask that he is not to have contact with her through a third party, those being his sisters or any other persons that are mutual friends. Your Honor, we would ask that you also implement that he has no alcohol or drugs or without a prescription while out on bond.
Michaela Williams, you are on Zoom. If you want to contribute to these proceedings, this is the time to unmute and start your video. Did you want to say something?
Can you guys hear me?
Did you want to add to the proceedings?
Yes, I did actually. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm at work. Sit down, buddy. I'm actually at work right now, so please bear with me. But yes, I was Tyon's ex-girlfriend. Sit down, buddy.
Raise your right hand.
Oh, sorry.
Can you go to a separate room? Okay. You solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge. So I'm
Yes,
sorry,
ma'am.
you said you were his former girlfriend?
Yes, I was his ex-girlfriend at the time. He was heavily involved in like drugs and alcohol and that nature. And he also has an immense amount of guns. When I was with him, he had
Do you share children with him?
No, I don't have any children. I'm just at work. I'm a nanny.
And have you had any contact with him since January 23rd of this year?
No, I haven't, but his sister tried texting me, but I blocked like all of her accounts.
I'm sorry?
His sister tried contacting me, but I blocked all of her accounts.
Okay. Now, do you wish to have any contact with Mr. Forbes?
No, actually, he threw a fully loaded Glock at my head. I don't know if y'all can still see that scar, but yeah, I don't want any contact at all.
Okay, thank you. Please mute your screen. Ms. Bader?
Your Honor, we don't have any issues with what the state was asking for. He hasn't had contact with her. I think the state was asking for a signature bond.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that either. Okay, 3,500 signature bond through pretrial services, level 2. No further contact with Michaela Williams to stay 200 yards away from her, from wherever she's located, whether it's a place of employment, where she lives, if she happens to be in the sidewalk in a grocery store. You and any third party on your behalf have to stay 200 yards away from her, not communicate with her in any way, form, or manner. If any individual attempts to communicate with Ms. Williams on Mr. Forbes' behalf, that would be considered a violation of the no contact order. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. And within 30 days of being released, he will enroll in a domestic violence intervention program. This is a series of 24 classes that he would need to undertake and pay out of his own pocket and complete them within the next 7 months. Did he want to say something, or are we done? If you have nothing to say, then we'll move on to the next case. Thank you.
There's no particular address for stay away. It's just
I don't have an address for Miss Williams, so I'm just simply saying no further contact with her, no matter where she is.
Judge, I got position 9 and 10, Mr. Garrett.
See, Your Honor, I could give you that address, Your Honor. It is 3730 Washington Road, East Point, Georgia.
All right. That would be the victim's address, and he'll be required to stay away from that. That applies to Tyon Forbes. Okay. Justin Norman Garrett. Mr. Garrett, you have a right to remain silent as previously advised, and anything you choose to say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. You have a right to an attorney, and Ms. Bader will be representing you in both of these cases. Your first case is 25 CR 7640G, accused of battery, family violence, and simple battery, family violence from October 30th, 2025. You have a second case. Incident date appears to be November 13th of this year. Case number 25 CR 7642G is an additional count of battery, family violence, and cruelty in the 3rd degree. Any priors, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 5 out of Georgia and 2 out of Tennessee. Last arrest was out of Douglas County for theft by deception and forgery from November 21st, 2025. There was no disposition for that case, Your Honor. There are convictions from 2022 for theft by taking, 2021 possession of marijuana less than an ounce. There also appears to be an arrest out of Tennessee from July 9th of 2024 for vandalism with no disposition, and nothing further.
Okay. Your Honor, whenever you're ready.
I'm ready. Please proceed.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, starting with the first case before you, ending in 640G. Your Honor, he is alleged to, in both these cases, the victim is the same. It is the mother of his child, and the victim's name is Whitney Jordan. In the first case, he struck her with closed fist and caused a lacerated lip, substantial bodily harm. And he also, in that same case, is alleged to have committed a simple battery wherein he struck her with a closed fist in her torso. And in the second case, Your Honor, that was called out, which ends in 642G, again, same victim. He struck her again with closed fists and caused bruises to the arm or leg, visible bodily harm. And in this second instance, it was done in the presence of their child in common, Jordan Garrett. And Your Honor, given these situations that have repeated victims, I'm going to be asking for bond in these amounts. As to the first case, Your Honor, where he is charged with battery, family violence, we're going to be asking for a $5,000 good bond on that first battery. As to the simple battery, we're going to be asking for a $1,000 good bond on that simple battery, family violence. As to the second case, the battery, family violence, I'm asking for a $5,000 again. On the cruelty to the children, I'm asking for a $1,500 good bond. The special conditions is that he is to have no contact whatsoever with this victim, Whitney Jordan, that he is to complete a domestic violence intervention program course, that he is to do, that he's to remain 300 yards away from her wherever she is, no matter where she is, that he is to, I'm not sure if you can even, if he's not employed, you can require that he seek and maintain gainful employment, no alcohol or drugs without a prescription, that he is to have random screens. I don't know if there is a custody arrangement, but any kind of custody arrangement for the child would have to go through a third party unless or until the court further directs that. Your Honor, I would also ask, in addition, if I haven't said it already, I'd be asking for random screens for alcohol or drugs without a prescription. And I believe that would be all, Your Honor, and the state is firm on those bond amounts, given that this may be an upgrade to a felony because it is the same victim.
Whitney Jordan, if you're on Zoom, this is your time to unmute and start your video if you have anything to add. Ms. Patel, anything to add?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Garrett is 26 years old. He is gainfully employed. He works at A1 Staffing, which is concert setup and breakdown. He's graduated high school and he did begin attending Georgia State University for some college and had to stop due to financial difficulties, but has aspirations of returning. He does have a good address and ties to the community. His mother also lives nearby. And he's lived at the same address with her for the last 2 years. She is involved in the child's life, so we would ask for, a third party transfer just since his mother is involved in the child's life.
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor, we have no objection to the stay away, to the no contact with Miss Jordan. I do object to the random screens, Your Honor. There aren't allegations of drugs involved in these warrants. In terms of the bond amounts, we are asking for, in position 9, a $1,000 bond on the battery family violence and a $500 bond on the simple battery family violence, and then the same for position 10 for $1,000 for count 1, $500 count 2, for the bond to be a total of $3,000 good bond. Thank you.
Okay. On position number 9, the battery family violence, that's going to be a $2,500 surety bond. On the simple battery family violence, that's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 3. For position 10 on the battery family violence, that's going to be a $2,500 surety bond. On the cruelty in the 3rd degree, that's going to be a $1,500 signature bond through pretrial services level 3. So his total bond is going to be a $5,000 surety bond and a $3,500 signature bond for pretrial services level 3. This is going to be a split bond for each case. He will report to pretrial services once a month. He's to have no further contact with Whitney Jordan. He's to stay 200 yards away from her, not communicate with her in any way, form, or manner, even through a third party. So no one can communicate with Ms. Jordan, even through a third party. He's to have no contact with any children or child that he shares with Ms. Jordan. If he wishes to have any contact with children or child that he shares with Ms. Jordan, he would need to file a separate legitimation case in the appropriate superior court and obtain a court order for visitation and or a joint visitation and or joint custody, at which time then Ms. Jordan can counter for any child support and financial support for the child. No illegal drugs, no alcoholic beverages, and he's not allowed to own or possess any firearms. His next court date will be December 11th for both cases. Please unmute courtroom 2. Mr. Garrett, you have 2 very serious violent cases against you at the present time, not to mention your other cases, but anything that you choose to say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you. So it's up to you whether if you want to waive your right to remain silent or preserve your right against self-incrimination.
Yes, ma'am, I would just like to say that, the presumed victim, Whitney Jordan, is very, very violent and she's very, it's like I was defending myself and it's like I lose because I feel like I'm a man and I shouldn't call the police. And because she's a woman, she feel like she just calls the police and I just get arrested. And I keep failing myself by not calling the police on her. And I was going to say that I accept all conditions and I'm willing to take all classes. I will even do the random drug test, but I was just trying to request like either a lower bond or a signature bond because I have not been able to work lately. As you know, that I just had a case in Douglas County, so I've had warrants, so I had to actually go and turn myself in for that. So I have not been able to work. I have not been able to have any backgrounds ran on me because I know I will be denied. So I would ask for any amount signature bond if made. But I just wanted to put that out there because I have not been working and I do not want to have contact with the victim at all. And my mother is she's in process of having a restraining order against the mother of my child because she's very violent and she promotes violence and she calls police on me. That's all I would like. Thank you.
Understood. If Whitney Jordan was here, I'm sure I'd like to hear from her side as well. But currently, given your criminal record history, the allegations of violence that occurred less than 2 weeks before the two incidents, and there's one other thing I forgot. While you report to pretrial once a week, once you post bond, you'll also be required to enroll in a domestic violence intervention program. And that would be within 30 days of posting bond. Thank you. There will be a DVIP requirement. Next case.
Position 11, Mr. Hartsfield.
Jacob Hartsfield is accused of willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer from November 26, 2025. His case number is 25 CR 7625B. Mr. Hartsfield, you've been advised of your rights and your attorney is going to be Ms. Badera. Any priors?
9 cycles. The last arrest was April 29th of 2022 out of Forsyth County for a probation violation. There is a 2021 conviction for possession of marijuana less than an ounce, 2021 DUI, 2020 criminal trespass, battery family violence, and an additional 2020 conviction for battery family violence and simple battery, and nothing further.
Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor, this occurred in Roswell. Law enforcement was given information about a vehicle that had been involved in a pursuit with a neighboring agency. The Gwinnett County Sheriff's Office was in the city of Roswell. Officers did obtain a visual of the vehicle, and upon making contact with the vehicle, he initially complied with the instructions with the officers, but ran to the back of the house and closed the door behind him, and refused to comply with their instructions to stop walking away from them and egressing away from them into the residence that he eventually took safe harbor in. I would ask, Your Honor, given these facts, excuse me, and the history that you did here just briefly, I would be asking for a $1,500 surety bond. I would ask, Your Honor, that you require any conditions you deem necessary and appropriate for this defendant. And that is all.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Hartsfield is 24 years old. He has ties to the community. He's been and lived in the area his whole life. He also graduated from South Forsyth High School and works at Window Genie of Atlanta. This obstruction case is having to do with an underlying warrant that was from Gwinnett County, where he currently has a hold. So we're asking for a signature bond through the jail so he can address that underlying case, which gave reason for this case. And like I said, he has a good address and family here, so he would get notice in the mail for future court dates for this case. Thank you.
Bond is set at $25. It's a cash bond. Once he posts bond, then Gwinnett can come pick him up. This is still an open active case, so please be mindful that he maintains a current address with us when we are ready to send him his court summons. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. Thank you. Next court date for this one is December 11th. Deputy, I know that's an add-on calendar, but I don't know if it's been published yet, but you will find out as soon as one is published. Next case. Quorum 2, please unmute.
Position 14, Mr. Hunter.
Okay. Just for your information, I can't remember position 1, but position 2 on the add-on calendar is Johnson. Position 3 is Shivers, and position 4 is Smith. So just FYI. But on position 14, I have Sherrod Hunter accused of driving under the influence of alcohol less safe and possession of an open alcohol container from November 25th, 2025. Case number 25 CR 7628J. Mr. Hunter, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Bader. Any priors?
16 cycles, last arrest November 7th, 2019, out of Fulton County for driving while license suspended or revoked. There is a 2011 conviction for driving while license suspended or revoked, and 2007 willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer, and nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, Your Honor, this defendant before you is charged with DUI, less safe, and driving with driving with an open container. And Your Honor, given the history that you've been that has been recited by pretrial, we'd be asking, Your Honor, because in this case he was found under the influence of alcohol, asleep behind the wheel. If my memory serves me correctly about these facts, as I pull up something else to give the court, around or about the area of I-75-85 northbound, and there was an open container containing alcohol therein, and alcoholic beverage, and the location specifically was I-75-85 University Avenue exit. And SFSTs did show signs of impairment. And so, Your Honor, we would ask that you give him a bond as to count 1, $3,000 surety bond, as to count 2, $1,000 SOB pretrial, if you will. No driving, no alcohol without a prescription. No alcohol or drugs without a prescription, random screens, and that will be all, Your Honor.
Anything to add, Ms. Bader?
Yes, Your Honor. I want to add that he's got a stable place to live. He's been at the same address for 5 years, and he's been in Atlanta his whole life. He will get notice in the mail. He's been at the same job for over 20 years, working in construction. Your Honor, as you heard, his last arrest was in 2019. I didn't hear about FTAs. We're asking for $1,000 good bond on the DUI and a $500 good bond on count 2. Thank you.
On the DUI, that's going to be a $1,500 surety bond. On the open alcohol container, it's going to be a $1,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 2. He's to report to pretrial services twice a month. He's not allowed to consume any alcoholic beverages and no illegal drugs. He'll be subject to random screens. No driving unless he has the appropriate driving privileges granted by a Department of Driver Services in a DUI case. As we know, his license is most likely going to be suspended within 30 days. So only if he is granted extended privileges by DDS. Otherwise, no driving until such a privilege is reinstated. Thank you.
And Your Honor, I just want to point out that the random screens might be difficult without a valid license. So if there's We would just object to
Why
that.
would random screens be difficult without a valid license? He can take MARTA and report to pretrial.
Understood.
Thank you.
Come on.
Next court date will be December 11th.
Position 15, Mr. Johnson.
Markel Payman Johnson's accused of forgery in the 4th degree from August 14th of this year. Mr. Johnson, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Bader. Any priors?
23 cycles. Last arrest was October 12th of 2025 for a probation violation out of Hall County. There's a 2024 simple battery conviction, 2023 possession of methamphetamine, 2022 arson and obstruction, 2017 driving without a valid license, and 2017 fleeing or attempting to elude an obstruction conviction, and nothing further.
Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, Your Honor, as you've heard, he has been charged with forgery in the 4th degree. Apparently here, Your Honor, he came into a branch and attempted to cash a check in the amount of $1,409.23. The check was from Cherokee County Chamber of Commerce, and it was in fact not made out to him. It was, and it had been altered. And Your Honor, given these facts, we would be asking, Your Honor, that you and the history that you've heard recited, we'd be asking, Your Honor, for a bond in the amount of $2,000 good bond, and any conditions you deem appropriate.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, please.
Mr. Johnson is 37 years old. He does have a good address. He's currently living with a good friend in town, and that is the address he gave to the jail. He does have his GED, and he's lived in Atlanta his whole life. Your Honor, he denies the allegations, and he understands that today is not his trial. He was not in Roswell around that time, doesn't know anyone in Roswell around that time. In fact, he was working on getting into a shelter downtown during this time. So, he denies these allegations and looks forward to coming to court to address them in the future. We're asking for a signature bond through pretrial or a low cash bond. Thank you.
Bond is set at 1,000. It is a surety bond and needs to stay away from all Ameris banks. Next court date is December 11th.
Position 20, Mr. Securia.
That was 20.
Your Honor, this is the client who needs a Spanish interpreter.
Ms. Lewis, this is Samuel Sequeira Mujica. Do we have a Spanish interpreter available?
No, ma'am. Try to call. Nobody's available, and the one was available. She had an appointment.
And I do have the mom and who was the victim in the case. She's present. Her son will interpret for her, but we all, just so you know, she doesn't.
No, I need.
No, I'm saying just when you're speaking, the son is interpreting for her, just for her.
Just for her. Okay.
He does speak English.
Okay.
The case against Samuel Alejandro Sequeira Mujica is going to be reset to tomorrow. It's going to be November 29th at 2 p.m., by which time we hope we will have a certified Spanish interpreter available to assist the defendant in this case. Presently, we do not have a certified Spanish interpreter available.
Position 22, Mr. Tucker.
Justin J. Tucker is accused of theft by taking from January 30th of 2022. Mr. Tucker, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Bader. 223.
No, I'm going to be the attorney, Your Honor.
Oh, Ms. Merrill? Okay. And Ms. Bickerstaff, do y'all have jurisdiction over this case?
No, I'm looking at the time frame. So the state's gonna submit a no pros for this.
All right. Mr. Tucker, this particular case stemming from an January 30th, 2022 incident is dismissed. If that's the only thing holding you, you should be released within 24 hours. Thank you.
Judge, what was that bond?
Oh, case is dismissed.
Can we go to position 23, Mr. Tyler?
Certainly.
And Your Honor, just so you know, the Tyler is actually his first name. Collier is his last name.
All righty. Thank you. This is State versus Collier Tyler, also known as Tyler Collier, case number 25 CR 007639G. Mr. Collier, you're accused of simple battery family violence stemming from a November 26, 2025 incident. You've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is Mr. Merrill. Any priors, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. Last arrest was out of South Carolina, May 13th, 2024, for a failure to appear. There does appear to be an open shoplifting case out of South Carolina. There's also history out of North Carolina, New York, and Virginia. Convictions from 2014 for burglary, 2013 identity theft out of Virginia, 2008 assault out of out of North Carolina, and 2006 robbery out of North Carolina, and nothing further. I'm sorry, there also appears to be a hold out of South Carolina, and nothing further.
Which would
And
be
Ms. Harvey, sorry.
Which will be the shoplifting matter, I presume.
Yes, so Your Honor.
No?
And Ms. Harvey, you said 06 assault, but what did you say before the 06 assault?
Oh, I said 08 assault on a female and 06 robbery.
06 robbery. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Bickerstaff, what's the recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommendation is a $3,000 surety bond for the defendant to have no further contact with Janelle Ricks, Janelle, Ricks, common spelling, and to stay away from the incident location of 3984 Adamsville Drive. If needed, a one-time police escort so the defendant can retrieve his belongings. Just briefly, Your Honor, on November 26th of this year at 3984 at Adamsville Drive, officers spoke with Janelle Ricks, and she told them that her boyfriend, the defendant, they were arguing over money. And in the midst of that argument, the defendant spat on her, and he attempted to throw urine on her. And so that's the reason for the state's recommendation. I don't believe that Ms. Ricks is on Zoom, but I would still like to sound for her.
Ms. Janelle Ricks, if you're on Zoom, this will be the time to unmute and start your video. Mr. Merrill?
Yes, Mr. Collier, I see you. Just give me a second for my portion. So Your Honor, before us is Mr. Tyler Collier. He is 42 years old. He does have a valid, he does understand that the court may order him to have a stay away from the Adamsville location. He do understand that if that is the case, he would have a place to go that's other than the Adamsville location. He does have 3 children by the ages of 3, 12, and 9, Your Honor. And as far as, Your Honor, he is currently unemployed, Your Honor. And also, I've spoken to Ms. Janelle Ricks, Your Honor. She's not opposed to his release. She also said she doesn't fear him. She just indicated she wanted a no contact, Your Honor. To that extent, Your Honor, and also the bucket, what was purported to be urine was actually just dirty water, Your Honor. And that's even when I was having my conversation with Ms. Ricks, Your Honor. But Your Honor, so to that extent, I would ask. I know you're concerned because out of South Carolina, he's a MSO and does have according to Officer Harvey indicated about an FTA. I would ask that you set a bond on him at $1,500, Your Honor. We're okay with the one-time escort and no further contact for Ms. Janelle Rickson to stay away, Your Honor. That is all.
And do any of the children that he has, they also Miss Rick's children?
These are, well, he helps, these children these are stepchildren. And so these children are, they're grown to be the defendant, but I told him that he may not have contact with these children while this case is pending.
All right, thank you. Courtroom 2, please unmute. Mr. Tyler.
Your Honor, that background that they're talking about is not me. That must be my little brother that they're talking about. That background that they're talking about is not me.
What's your brother's date of birth?
My brother's date of birth is, I think, 3/5/85, if I'm not mistaken. My birthday is May 4th, 1983.
All right. Ms. Harvey, could you check the date of birth on the GCIC that was announced?
Yes, Your Honor. It did appear that there were two date of births listed. So there was, but everything is listed under his GCIC according to the FBI number and Odyssey, but there are two different date of births listed on all the history.
So one is May 4th, 1983, and the other one is 85?
Is, I believe, let me double check, but I did check that before court and noticed two date of births. But one moment.
Any updates, Ms. Harvey?
Moment, I'm trying to get it to load, sorry.
Okay. Deputy, I'll put a hold. Do we have anyone else to address in courtroom 2?
Yes, Judge, we do.
All right, if
I have it now, Judge. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, yes, it's we have a March 5th of 85 and a May 4th of 83.
For the
And
same
there are,
individual.
yes, and there are about 4 names associated with his and several driver's license numbers. So there are several date of births and names associated with his criminal history.
Okay, and what are the different names?
There is Derek Collier, Collier Tyler, and Vander, Vander Collier.
Okay. All right. Presently, given this multiple names and multiple date of births, the sheriff's office is directed to re-fingerprint Mr. Collier, who is in the courtroom, to ascertain his correct identity. But in the meantime, on the simple battery family violence, his bond is going to be set at $1,750. It's going to be a surety bond. No further contact with Janelle Ricks. No contact with any of her children and immediate family members. He's to stay away from 3984 Adairsville Drive in Atlanta, Georgia. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. His next court date is going to be December 11th. And hopefully by then we will have him re-fingerprinted again and ascertain his identity. Mr. Collier, if you do post bond, South Carolina will have to come pick you up if it turns out that you are the individual that has the hold for the shoplifting matter. Courtroom 2, please unmute. Yes, sir.
Derek Collier, that's my little brother. That's my baby.
All right, sir. So once you post bond and you resolve any other holes you may have, I highly recommend that you go to a police precinct and obtain your criminal history record and perhaps make steps to correct it. Because if your brother and your criminal history record are intertwined, you would need to take affirmative steps to clear that up.
I haven't been in trouble since 2002.
Well, according to the record under your name and your fingerprints and your date of birth, it appears to be not.
Well,
All right, see you on the 11th. Thank you.
Position 17, Mr. Moore.
17.
Tyree Moore.
Yep. This is State versus Tyree Moore, accused of criminal trespass from November 26th of this year, case 25 CR 7629F. Mr. Moore, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is Mr. Merrill. Any priors?
Yes, Your Honor, 46 cycles. Last arrest was April 3rd, 2025 for theft by shoplifting, giving false name, address, or birthday to a law enforcement officer, and obstruction. That was out of Fulton County. Does appear to have an active probation case for obstruction of a law enforcement officer, sentenced January 17th, 2025 to 12 months probation. Also appears to be on probation for theft by shoplifting with a sentence date of 7/8/2025. 1 year confinement, 4 years probation. On probation for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon and obstruction, sentence 7/8/25, 4 years probation. In addition, there are convictions from 2023 for driving without a valid license, 2022 possession of a firearm during and by a convicted felon, possession of methamphetamine, 2020 battery, family violence, simple battery, 2020 terroristic threats, criminal trespass.
Oh, that's plenty. Thank you so much. Ms. Bickerstaff?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommendation is a $2,000 surety bond. And we're asking for Mr. Moore to stay away from Walmart on November 26th of this year. The defendant came to Walmart at 970 Manswell location after he had been criminally trespassed off the premises. Your Honor, given his history, the criminal trespass started, or more to the story is, it started that he was being accused of stealing from Walmart, but Walmart denied pressing charges because the item he was taking was less than $25. So that is kind of more to the picture of what happened and why the state is asking for a $2,000 surety on a criminal trespass.
All right. Mr. Barrow?
Yes, Your Honor. So my client, Mr. Tyree Moore, he sits before you at 39 years old. He's also a lifelong resident. He also has a valid address on file from within the Fulton County, Your Honor, so he doesn't pose a significant risk of fleeing from our jurisdiction. We also, to complement that, we also do not hear of any FTAs, Your Honor. He has had some college study business administration. He does some odd end jobs, Your Honor. But I would like to indicate, Your Honor, that this trespass that happened in 2019, Your Honor, it doesn't indicate that he was unaware that it was a permanent ban. Even I thought that the ban could have been temporary, Your Honor. But as far as that is the reason why I would be asking for a signature bond, Your Honor. I know that you're based off of his history. The court may be wondering why I'm asking for that, because when someone have a notice from 2019, Your Honor, this is not something where he had the notice in 2022, 23, et cetera, more recent times, and that he had stayed away from this location for all this time. He thought it was temporary and it was okay to come back, Your Honor. Now, as far as the shoplifting allegations, we have no other, based off of what's in the warrant, we have nothing to corroborate that, Your Honor. And so based off of that, in asking, will he appear before court, which is the reason for bond, Your Honor, even with 46 cycles, you've never heard anything of him having FTAs, which lets the court can be assured that when he does have court, he does appear. And so I would ask if you're inclined to give him a signature bond. Otherwise, if you set it at a 3,000 SOB, Your Honor, he knows that if he doesn't come, then he will have to have a surety. But if you're not inclined to give a signature bond, I just ask that the bond is no more than 1,000. Surety.
Bond is set at $25 cash bond only. to stay away from the Walmart at 970 Mansell Road. And I guess that's in Roswell or Alpharetta, I don't know. But next court date's the December 11th. Thank you. Next case.
Position 5 and 6, Mr. Fletcher.
Nikia Damon Fletcher has two separate cases. Mr. Fletcher, you've been advised of your rights. Your attorney is Ms. Bader. Beginning with position 5, State versus Fletcher. Its charges are simple battery, family violence, and willful obstruction of a law enforcement officer from November 26, 2025. Mr. Fletcher, you have a prior battery family violence warrant from September 1st, 2024. And that case number is 25 CR 7636E. Any priors, Ms. Hari?
3 cycles. The last arrest was December 11, 2018 out of Fulton County for an FTA. There is a 2021 conviction for disorderly conduct and 2019 aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. And nothing further.
Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the victim is the same person. It is Miss Kiana Rice, who is the mother of their child in common. In position number 5, which ends in 634E, he was asked to get a haircut for their son, and when doing so, the son started crying. She then picks the son up, takes him out to the car. He follows her out to the car, gets into the front seat. After she asks him to get out, he then brandishes a stick, which is also known as a long barrel gun, and then comes around to the other side of the vehicle and then begins to lay hands on her by punching her in the face and torso. The stick, quote unquote, was not found, but it was spoken about by the victim in this case. In the second case, occupying position 6 on your calendar, ending in 636E, Your Honor, that case too also involves Miss Kiana Rice. And in that case, he is charged with a battery, causing intentional leg bruising, visible body harm to her, again, who is the parent of the child, by striking her with closed fists after losing his temper. Your Honor, we would be asking him to have the following bond amount set. As to the count 1 in position 5 of simple battery family violence, we're asking for a $1,500 good bond. As for the willful obstruction, we're asking for a $1,500 SOB through pretrial services. And I did forget to mention that in that case, when law enforcement did find him after he had fled from the location, he then jumped out of a moving vehicle and attempted to flee from the officers when they were trying to apprehend him. And in the case ending in 636E, given that battery charge, Your Honor, we're asking for a $3,500 good bond, FVIP, no further contact with Ms. Kiana Rice, that he is to remain at least 300 yards away from her, that he is to complete a FVIP course, Family Violence Intervention Program, is to have no weapons, no firearms, guns whatsoever, and relinquish them. He is to, in fact, Your Honor, no, and even if he is to, as in the prior case, Your Honor, if he wants to have contact with the child, he needs to go through the appropriate mechanisms legally to do so, unless or until he cannot do so. Your Honor, we would also ask in this case that you require he have no alcohol, drugs, or without a prescription, and that will be the sum total of the state's request, Your Honor, today.
Kiana, I see a Kiana Harvey, so I don't know if that's the same person, but Kiana Rice, if you want to contribute to the proceeding, this is the time to unmute and start your video. All right, Ms. Bader.
Yes, Your Honor. Someone wrote in the chat, is the state aware if Ms. Rice is on the call?
She is, it appears she's saying yes 1 second. She's attempting to turn on her video. I believe she's running some technological issues, Your Honor, but if she is not able to do so, it is Ken R, but if she's not able to do so, then we can proceed forward, Your Honor.
Proceed, Ms. Bader, and I'll give her a chance to contribute.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Fletcher is 25 years old. He did graduate high school and he works in a family business there, the restaurant business.
I'm sorry, whose family?
Mr. Fletcher.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And he
Hi, I'm here.
All right, Miss Rice, we'll get back to you. Continue, Miss Bader.
Your Honor, can we hear from Miss Rice?
Sure.
Possible? Thank you.
Kiana Rice, please
Yes,
raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
yes.
What would you like to tell us?
Yes, I would like to say, he is the father of my child. He is very active in his son's life. That day, we got into a heated argument, and what I thought was a gun was actually not a gun.
What was it?
I'm sorry.
What was it?
It was not a gun. It was his
Okay, I
phone.
know what it's not. What was it?
It was his phone.
It was a phone?
Yes.
How does a phone look like a gun?
Because I only saw the black part of it. It wasn't all the way taken out. So since it was black, I thought it was a gun.
Why would you think
So
it's a gun?
I just thought it was a gun
Why?
because it was black. Normally guns are black. It was not a gun. It was in fact his phone. He has a black case on his phone. I wasn't able to see the whole thing. I only saw a portion of it. So I did think that it was a gun.
Okay, and what were you all doing at that time?
I'm sorry.
What were you all doing at that time?
Getting our son a haircut for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And he's not a violent person at all. We just got into a very heated argument. So, you know, that is why the police officers were called there to the scene.
Okay. And who called the police?
I did.
And he's not
Yes.
a violent person.
No, he is not. I only called the police because I was upset. I do get dramatic sometimes. We were in a heated argument, as I said before, and I was upset, so I called the police.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else who wants to speak on behalf of Mr. Fletcher besides Miss Rice and besides Miss Bader? No? Okay, Miss Bader, you may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, at this time, these are just allegations. He does deny the allegations against Miss Rice. Our understanding is that she wants contact. They don't live together, for the record. He does live with his mother in a separate address. So we're asking for the total bond not to exceed a $3,000 good bond, total between the cases, and no further violent contact.
Okay, thank you. On the position 5, on the simple battery family violence, that's going to be 2,500. The willful obstruction is going to be 1,500. And on the battery family violence from September 1st, 2024, that's going to be 3,000. His total bond is going to be a $7,000 signature bond through pretrial services, level 3. He will report to pretrial services once a week. He will have no further violent contact with Miss Kiana Rice. And he's to file a legitimation case and obtain a court order for a joint custody and joint visitation within 60 days of being released. Within 30 days of being released, he will enroll in a domestic violence intervention program, and he will attend and complete all 24 weeks of classes at his expense. No illegal drugs, no alcoholic beverages, and definitely no firearms. He will be subject to random screens for illegal drugs and or alcohol while he reports to pretrial. Mr. Fletcher, if you don't report to pretrial, if you don't come to court when summoned, if you violate any of the conditions of the bond, or if you get arrested again, your $7,000 signature bond will be revoked and converted to a cash bond only. Thank you. Oh, and this also means no future physical and verbal altercations with Miss Rice. If there are any of altercations in the future and the police get involved, that will also revoke your bond. Thank you. Next case, please.
Can we go to the add-on, Mr. Shivers?
Okay. Okay, I don't have. Okay, who do we have in courtroom 2 at the present time?
Mr. Shivers.
Shivers, okay. This is an announcement for those who were just brought into the courtroom 2, as well as those who are at ACDC. Good afternoon, my name is Judge Lal. We are addressing your first appearance for these newly accused criminal cases brought against you. These are misdemeanor charges. You have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you in the treatment of your case. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to represent you. So we have an add-on calendar, and just let me get to, this is position number 3, I believe. Mr. Darius O'Neill Shivers, 25 CR 007645. Mr. Shivers is accused of driving under the influence of alcohol less safe and reckless driving from November 26, 2025. Mr. Shivers, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Bader, or is it Mr. Merrill?
It's going to be Mr. Morrell.
All right, sir. And any priors, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor. 3 cycles. The last arrest was July 21st of 2019 out of Douglas County for DUI. That arrest did result in a 2021 conviction and nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Bickerstaff?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking for a $3,000 cash bond for Mr. Shivers to not drive at all, and for random alcohol screenings. On November 26th of 2025, officers were dispatched to Camp Creek Parkway and Fulton Industrial Boulevard at the intersection in reference to a car that was stalled at a red light for about 20 minutes. The car was running, and there was one driver present in the car. That was Mr. Shivers. After several knocks on the window, Mr. Shivers did wake up, and when he woke up, he was the officer noted in his report that he was confused. He had slightly slurred speech. His eyes were glassy, and that he smelled of alcohol. Your Honor, the state is asking for a $3,000 cash bond because he has a 2021 DUI conviction, and also he had a DUI that was reduced to a reckless driving later in 2021. So it's just a repeat or recidivist behavior. So that is why the state is asking for a cash bond.
So are you telling me he had a second arrest for a DUI that got reduced
to a reckless driving? Yes.
So this is a third arrest for DUI then?
Yes.
Okay.
Morrell.
Merrill, sorry, go ahead.
Yes. Yes, before us is Mr. Darius Shivers, Your Honor. He's 35 years old. He also is a lifelong resident, Your Honor. As indicated, he doesn't pose significant risk of fleeing from our jurisdiction. He also doesn't even have any FTAs or violations of probations, etc., Your Honor. He has gone to school. He has some college. He has studied finance, Your Honor. He was working for the airlines, Your Honor. We've already had a conversation with him about this arrest could lead to his suspension at the airlines, Your Honor. What I would be asking is that even in this, when I was reviewing the case, Your Honor, there's no field sobriety test completed based off of what is listed in the warrant, Your Honor. There's no field sobriety test, and I believe that the state would have a hard time being able to prove the DUI less safe, Your Honor, based off of the allegations that's written in the warrant. I haven't seen, of course, seen any body camera. I haven't seen any other things, Your Honor. But based off of that, it seems like he got out of the car and then they pretty much made their determination and arrested him. He didn't fail any of the field sobriety tests. We don't have anything where he blew or anything of that nature, Your Honor. So I would be objecting to a cash only bond. Your Honor, the purpose of bond is not to punish him. The purpose of bond is to ensure his appearance before court. The court has no reason to believe that he would be would not be able to come back to court or would not come back to court when ordered, Your Honor. Now, as far as the no driving, Your Honor, I know that you're considering that, Your Honor, and that we would just ask that if
well, you and I both know that his license is going to be suspended in 30 days.
Right, but he can go to the administrative hearing within 30 days. And
on a third arrest for DUI, okay.
But anything could happen, Your Honor. My job, and so I would just ask that his role, what you would order is that if DDS would allow, then he will be able to drive, Your Honor. Now, when it comes to the random screenings, Your Honor, as I indicated, he's getting ready to lose his job. Our clients, when you order random screenings, they have to pay for that. Without him having a job, I believe, will pose a financial hardship on him being able to have to pay for the random screenings, because that, depending on how soon this case will get into a courtroom, he is on random screenings having to pay that out of pocket, and he's virtually becoming unemployed, Your Honor. And so I would ask that you not order him to have random screenings, or if you are going to order random screenings, that it's set to a time limit, because otherwise he's just paying for it every single week, or how often the random screenings would occur, Your Honor. And that would cause an undue hardship on someone who has the presumption of innocence on his side, and he's not guilty of anything at this time.
All right. But stop,
ultimately,
Mr. Merrill, where do you get the impression that random screens are done every week?
Or in general, even in my courtroom when they're sentenced,
I'm not sentencing him. Where do you get the impression that pretrial conducts random screens every week?
From my understanding in my courtroom, that when they're ordered to random screens, I can only go by what I have seen.
You are incorrect then. That is a total incorrect statement to make. Let's
understand,
move on.
but Judge Law,
let's move on. Anything else?
Yes, but Judge Law, the essence of that statement was about it's about the payment to the random screening.
Mr. Merrill, I don't care whether he has to pay or not. What my concern is that this is an individual where the warrant expressly states that eyewitnesses saw this vehicle stationary at a traffic light for up to 20 minutes, and the police officer had to come and knock on and slam on the window to make this driver come awake. This was an individual who was unconscious at the wheel and allegedly appeared to be impaired and allegedly had the odor of an alcoholic beverage. Now, whether that gives rise to a factual assertion that he was DUI, I don't know. I don't know, because like you said, he's legally presumed innocent of driving under the influence of alcohol. But what I do have is an individual who's had 3 arrests for DUI in the last 5 years. And I am very, very concerned that this individual may be allowed back on the streets unless he's got random screens. So let's move on from the subject of random screens. Tell me something else.
Yes, Your Honor. And aside from the random screenings, Your Honor, I would ask that you set the bond at no higher than a $2,000 surety bond, so he can be able to afford to be able to get out. I did ask him about who would have to pay the bond. We talked about his mother, Miss Jones, who is also listed as emergency contact, but she also has limited means and finances to be able to even pay the bond. So a cash bond is virtually putting him on a no bond status, because no one will be able to afford that in his family.
Understood. Thank you. On the driving under the influence of alcohol less safe, that's going to be a $3,000 surety bond. On the reckless driving, that's going to be a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 3. He will report once he posts so this is a $6,000 split bond. His next court date is going to be December 11th. Once he posts his bond on the $3,000 portion, he will report to pretrial services once a week. Yes, he will not be allowed to consume any alcoholic beverages, no illegal drugs, and he is not allowed to have or possess any firearms. He will be subject to random screens by pretrial services until further order of the court. We do not perform the screens every week. It is randomly done so that in the event he's called to do a screen and he decides to drink alcohol at the same time, he would be in trouble. He's not allowed to drive any motor vehicle, none, no driving, and that is the condition of his bond. If he applies for a administrative license appeal and he prevails and obtains a limited driving privilege, he can petition the court to amend his bond order with proof that he's been granted limited driving privileges by the Department of Driving Services. His next court date is December 11th. Thank you.
Position 5, Mr. Smith on the add-on.
All right, let me get this. This is Nathaniel Smith, case number 25 CR 7646G. Mr. Smith is accused of theft by receiving stolen property from November 15th, I think it's 2025. And Mr. Smith, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Mr. Merrill. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Any priors?
Yes, Your Honor. 66 cycles, convictions from 2019 for theft by shoplifting, 2017 theft by shoplifting, 2012 fleeing or attempting to elude, 2011 theft by shoplifting. Does appear to have active probation cases, Your Honor. There's one out of Gwinnett County for theft by shoplifting. From August 24th, 2017, he was sentenced to 10 years probation. There's a second case out of Dougherty County from 2019, also for theft by shoplifting, where he was sentenced to 10 years probation.
That's good. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Miss Bickerstaff?
Yes, Your Honor. On November 3rd of this year, officers were flagged down by a Miss Sharetha Jackson, that's Shereetha. She advised the officer that the church's van license plate was missing. She told the officer that she filed a report and that she didn't know how or what happened to the plate. Like, she explained she didn't know whether it fell off the van or what. So the officer blocked the license plate, and it was on a white Ford Ranger, and they were able to track that down to the defendant. And so, given Mr. Smith's history, the state is asking for a $500 cash bond in this case, and to stay away, well, not stay away, just no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Mr. Merrill?
Ms. Bickerstaff, did you say 500 cash or did you say?
Yeah, $500 cash.
Cash. Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to take notes at the same time. All right, Your Honor, before us is Mr. Nathaniel Smith. Your Honor, he is 60 years old. He is a lifelong resident, and the address, he does have a valid mailing address, Your Honor. He does have children, 3 children, but they are grown. He does have some college education, Your Honor. As indicated by the state, Your Honor, this case is about a tag that was on a car in which he was driving. He's not, of course, not being charged with theft by taking. Your Honor, I do believe that there's going to be some issues trying to determine how Mr. Nathaniel knew or should have known that the tag on that vehicle was stolen, Your Honor, because the vehicle I don't even recall that the vehicle in itself was stolen. I think it's just the tag in itself. Be it in may. What I am asking, Your Honor, is that because of his histories with the shoplifting, Your Honor, I am still asking for a signature bond on this particular case. I know you're wondering why I'm asking that, because, especially with a person who has 66 cycles. I think that because we're talking about an automobile tag, Your Honor, where it's going to be extremely difficult to prove that he knew or should have known that the tag on a vehicle in which he was driving was stolen, Your Honor, I would ask that you give him a signature bond. If not, I would ask that it's set no higher than a I would ask for a 500 security, to be honest, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Yeah. Bond is set at 2,000. It is a surety bond. Next court date is December 11th. If once he posts bond, he will be subject to his hold. Next court date is December 11th. Thank you.
We do add on to Mr. Johnny Johnson.
This is State versus Johnny Johnson. Case number is 25 CR 7644D. Mr. Johnson is accused of battery, family violence, and simple battery, family violence. Mr. Johnson, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Mr. Merrill.
No, it's going to be Ms. Bader.
Bader, okay. Any priors, Ms. Harvey?
Yes, Your Honor, 17 cycles. Last arrest was December 25th, 2024, out of Henry County for a criminal attempt to commit a misdemeanor. He was sentenced on that case November 18th, 2025 to 12 months probation. He does have a conviction from 2025 for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of marijuana, and theft by receiving stolen property. He did receive 7 years probation for that case. In addition, there are convictions from 2015 for false statements, 2014 possession of marijuana less than an ounce, 2012 giving false name, and 2013 possession of marijuana less than an ounce, and nothing further.
Right. Ms. Bickerstaff, or is it Mr. Brown?
It's Mr. Brown.
Your Honor, my apologies. Who is this defendant? I can
This
learn this.
is position 2 on the add-on calendar, Johnny Johnson, battery, family violence, and simple battery, family violence.
Just 1 second, Your Honor. Let me pivot. Your Honor, as to this case, Mr. Johnson, given the recitation of the history, we'd be asking for bond to be set as follows: 2,500 good bond on the battery family violence. As to the simple battery family violence, we'd be asking for a $2,000 good bond. We'd be asking for the standard conditions of FVIP. We'd ask for no further violent contact. We'd ask for you to implement a stay away from the victim in this case. We'd additionally ask for any other additional conditions that, of course, that this court would deem unnecessary and proper in this matter.
I can't access the documents for this case, only the accusation. So I have...
The victim is Brett Johnson.
Brett Johnson. And where's the stay away?
The stay away would be from, just 1 second. That's what I was trying to pivot to, so that I can give you that complete address. The address that we would be asking, it would be a married couple. Stay away from the address of 5890 Bering Way, Bearing Way, South Fulton, Georgia. And we would add, they do have 5 children, according to the warrant. And so we would be asking, of course, that, the FVIP would help with that.
Okay.
Yes, Your
Honor. And Ms. Bader, is this your case?
It is, Your Honor.
And is Britt Johnson on Zoom and wants to contribute? No such luck. Okay, Ms. Bader.
And Your Honor, I'd ask if the state has had contact with Brett Johnson.
Mr. Brown, any
Your
luck?
Honor, at this time, I am trying to pivot, Your Honor, but for the purposes of today, Your Honor, I don't believe that is as relevant as given the
well, you asked for no further violent contact, so I'm assuming there's been some
enough
representation.
I'm pivoting to the screen right now. If I could just get 1 second.
Was that the request? Just to be clear, no further violent contact.
I did ask for no further violent contact. I believe that was made. But if you give me 1 second, I can give you more information. I
can't.
am. I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
Your Honor. I
Go
didn't mean
ahead.
to interrupt you.
No,
I'm. My understanding is that on this case, we did have contact to my last of my recollection. I'm looking for the notes from. Here they go. Here they go. And it's taking a second to pull up. It's on an Excel spreadsheet. As to this case, Johnson, I'm so sorry, Your Honor, that it normally does not take me this long.
Jan, I got a quick question.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who's asking? I would not speak right now, Mr. Johnson, unless you want to incriminate yourself.
Mr. Johnson, we haven't completed the hearing yet. I haven't even spoken on your behalf yet, so just be patient for now.
I don't have any notes to that effect, Your Honor.
I just heard 2 different charges. I was unaware of that.
Yes, it's battery,
Your Honor, I don't have any
family
notes to that
violence.
effect.
It's battery, family violence, and simple battery, family violence.
My wife was charged with the simple battery. Not
Was
me.
she?
Yes.
Okay, good to know.
Your Honor, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Johnson is 33 years old. He's lived in the Metro Atlanta area for over 15 years. He currently owns the house that he's been in for 8 years, so we ask that there is no stay away. He lives there with his older brother and his 5 children. Around this time, his wife, Miss Johnson, was released from an inpatient treatment program and had recently relapsed. So, Your Honor, there's certainly a lot of context here. He denies the allegations in this particular warrant. He is concerned about his children at this particular time. We're asking, if possible, for a signature bond through pretrial, if not, for the bond to not exceed a $1,000 good bond.
On the battery family violence, that's going to be a $1,000 surety bond. On the simple battery family violence, that's going to be a $2,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 2. This is going to be a $3,000 split bond. No further violent contact with Brett Johnson. He can return to the Bering Way, but within 30 days of being released, he will enroll in a domestic violence intervention program. He will attend and complete all 24 classes at his expense. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no firearms. And his next court date will be December 11th.
Your Honor, what was the surety bond amount?
1,000 surety. And count 2 is a 2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2.
Your Honor, I just never knew I was charged with 2 charges. So, where is this coming from? I'm not sure.
Mr. Johnson, I highly recommend you reach out to the public defender's office and speak with them about the requirements of your bond.
Yes, ma'am.
Next case.
We can go to ACDC, Judge.
Okay.
And I'll be handling the ACDC cases, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Badir. I've already advised the folks at ACDC, Deputy Milton, looking all warm and cozy. Yes, who shall we begin with?
Position 21, Tiffany Thomas.
Tiffany Thomas is accused of simple assault family violence from November 25th of this year. Case 25 CR 7635Y. Ms. Thomas, you may advise of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Bader. Any priors?
44 cycles. Last arrest was May 19, 2022, out of Atlanta for a failure to appear. She has a 2022 conviction for criminal trespass, 2018 abuse, neglect, or exploitation of the elderly or disabled, 2018 aggravated assault, 2015 reckless conduct, 2013 criminal trespass. There are at least 6 other convictions in the history, Your Honor. Nothing further.
Mr. Brown? Or
And
Ms.
so-
Bickerstaff?
Yes,
Yeah.
Your Honor. So on November 25th of this year at 1174 Joseph E. Boone, officers arrived there and they spoke with a Mr. Ricky Williams, who stated he came home and he saw his girlfriend, Miss Thompson, in his home, and she was doing drugs. He told the officer that he asked Miss Thomas to leave and she refused. And so an argument took place between them, and that's when Miss Thomas pushed him, causing him to fall. The officer noted that Mr. Williams had superficial cuts on him from the altercation. So the state's recommendation in this case is a $2,000 surety bond to have no further contact with Mr. Williams, as well as to stay away from the incident location, as well as no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Right. Ricky Williams, if you're on Zoom, this is the time to unmute and start your video if you want to say anything. Otherwise, we move on. I don't know who's this individual on Samsung. Somebody give me an idea who this is? The guy with the hat having a good time talking to his walkie-talkie? Who is that? Anybody recognize him?
Not sure.
Everybody's waving that way.
Okay.
Yep. All right.
No one knows who that is? This person on Samsung wearing a cap. Unmute your Zoom. Who are you? Unmute your device. All right, Ricky Williams is not here. So, Ms. Bader, what would you like to tell me?
What else from?
Your Honor, I'm not positive if that's him or not, but Ms. Thomas is 48 years old. The address that she gave to the jail is her good address. She's lived in the Atlanta area her whole life. At the time of the FTA, she did not have a stable address, but she now does. She gets disability. She's gotten ran over by an 18-wheeler, and has had a few surgeries so far. She's currently in a boot. If absolutely necessary, she does have other places where she can live with her family friend, Michael Grimes, and her father is also in the area. Our understanding is that Mr. Williams does still want contact. So we would ask for no further violent contact. And Your Honor, she, like I said, she currently has a stable address. She plans on being present in court. She doesn't have any funds. The disability still hasn't come through. So we're asking for a signature bond in this case.
Due to the new law, if she has an FTA in the last 5 years, she cannot qualify for a signature bond. So at the present, it's going to be $1,000 surety bond. No further contact with Ricky Williams. Stay away from the location that she shares with him. She's allowed a one-time visit with a police officer to retrieve her belongings. And then she'll need to update us with her new address within 30 days. She will attend and complete 4 like I said, it's a surety bond. Her next court date is December 11th. Thank you.
Next is position 12, Ms. Harvey. Harvey.
Christiana Marshall Harvey, case 25 CR 7626J. She's accused of 2 counts of battery family violence, 1 count of simple battery family violence, and 1 count of cruelty in the 3rd degree. This is from a November 26, 2025 incident. Ms. Harvey, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is going to be Ms. Bader. Any priors?
Yes, Your Honor. 2 cycles. Adults appear to have an additional open case under 25 CR 006633J. That's from June 19th, 2025 for battery, family violence, battery, simple battery, and cruelty to children in third degree, and nothing further.
Thank you. Mr. Brown?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the defendant before you is charged, excuse me, with multiple counts of battery, battery, family violence against her sisters, simple battery, family violence, and cruelty to children. It appears that this stems from an argument that arose from one of her nieces making a mess on the floor, after which the argument ensued, verbal altercation. The defendant then threw a phone at one of her sisters, striking her. A drink was thrown back at the defendant in response. Then the defendant threw a pot of noodles at her sister, later identified as Kiana Harvey, hitting her in the left arm. Defendant then bit Kiana on her left thigh. Injuries were seen on her thigh, a bruise, and on her right pinky finger. She was also punched another sister in the left eye. All of this was viewed by law enforcement who were present in the area. Your Honor, given these facts and the history, we'll be asking for the following, Your Honor. We're going to ask for a $2,000 surety bond on count one, a $1,500 surety bond on count two. As to the remaining counts of simple battery and cruelty to children, we'll ask for $1,000 SOB through pretrial services. No further contact with the victims in this case. Kirsten Harvey. Let me make sure I get these names right, Your Honor, because it's a lot of Ks. Kirsten Harvey, Kiana Harvey, Kaylin Harvey. I know that Paul Harvey is the father, but it appears based on the history that there seems to be multiple, violent contacts, in cases by this defendant. I do see that there is family support here. Miss Kiana Harvey, I presume Megaline Harvey is another relative, and I do see Mr. Paul Harvey here on the Zoom. If they wish to speak, Your Honor, before this court, I would ask, and Antonia Harvey, I would ask simply that they be permitted after having, be permitted after having the ability to be sworn in. We'd ask for FVIP. We'd ask for no further violent contact. We'd ask, Your Honor, that anger management or something additionally to ensure that, she's not before you again on another case of battery, family violence.
Thank you. All right, we are addressing Christiana Marsha Harvey. Anyone who wants to say something in this case, you need to start your video and unmute your screen.
Paul Harvey.
All right, do not say anything until everyone's on. Whoever wants to say something in this case, you need to start your video and unmute your screen. All right, Paul and Magdalene Harvey, please raise your right hands. Kiana Harvey, you need to unmute. Oh my goodness, please remove the child from the room. Okay. All right, do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
I do.
I do.
Miss Kiana?
I do.
All right, let's start with you, Mr. Harvey, since you popped in first. You can go, Miss Kiana, mute your screen until we address you. All right, go ahead, Mr. Paul Harvey. What would you like to tell me?
Yes, Christiana, that is my daughter. Christiana, I believe, has been going through postpartum since she's had her child. Christiana was not like this before she had her child. She was never exhibited violent behavior or anything like that. I believe she just needs some therapy, some counseling. That's
When
what I
was
would
this
like.
child born?
She is 18 months now.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. Appreciate it. Miss
And
Magdalene
also it was one other thing.
Yeah.
On yesterday morning, I got a phone call from a person impersonating a probation officer. and said that they were a part of a pretrial prevention program, and told me that they were going to release Christiana and that I needed to send them monies to get her release.
And what was the name of this individual with whom you
His
spoke?
name was Kevin Terrell.
Okay.
This person's name was Kevin. I sent them $1,500 to release her, and they said that she would be ready in 45 minutes. I went down to the jail, to the bonding booth at Rice Street, and they then told me that that was a scam that had been going around.
All right. You would need to go to the prosecutor's office or file a police report and have them investigate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Magdalene Harvey, yes, what would you like to tell us?
I would echo what her dad said.
Okay.
Um,
And anything else?
Yeah, Kiana and Kaylin actually lives with me, and that's her residence. So if she has to stay away, then they're home with me. She doesn't live with them.
What's your relation to Christina?
Christiana is my daughter.
And Kiana and the other two, and
all four of them are my girls.
And they all live with you?
No, just Kiana and Kaylin. Christiana lives with Paul, her dad. We live in two different households. We're divorced.
Sounds. And now, Miss Kiana Harvey, did you want to add anything?
I just want to say I love my sister, and I pray that she can come home.
All right, thank you. Please mute your screen. Okay. I was going to say Antonia Harvey, but that's just coincidentally our pretrial officer. Okay. Ms. Bader, yes, anything else to add?
Yes, Your Honor, briefly, Ms. Harvey is 22 years old. She's graduated with her associate's degree from Georgia Military College. She does have a good address on file, as you heard. Her sisters live with their mother and she lives with her father, and the alleged victims in the case are her sisters. It doesn't sound like anyone's asking for no further contact. So we would ask for no further violent contact. This is her second arrest. She was also taken to the hospital that night, and had injuries of her own, based on her lack of history, and she is presumed innocent on her other case as well. She doesn't have any convictions. We are asking, and she doesn't have any FTAs either. It sounds like she has a lot of support from her parents, and she will be in court. We're asking for a signature bond through pretrial.
Miss Christiana Harvey, this is not your second battery family violence case. You've got a prior one, which is 25 CR 006 633J. And this could give the prosecutor the option of having your new case upgraded to a felony charge. So I'm trying to let you know that your situation is far more serious than what you may anticipate you think it is, because you could be facing not a misdemeanor, but a felony charge. And that could require a lot of years in prison if the state proves the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, you have a lot of family here who are willing to speak on your behalf. I highly recommend that whatever I impose on you, that you follow it and that you straighten out whatever is going on in your life. Otherwise, just let me know and I'll keep you in jail for as long as it takes. On the battery family violence, on each count is going to be $2,500. On the simple battery is going to be $2,500. And the cruelty in the third degree is going to be $2,500. This is going to be a $10,000 signature bond through pretrial services level 2. She reports to pretrial services twice a month. She will enroll and complete a domestic violence intervention program. She will enroll in those classes within 30 days of being released. These are 24 classes that she will need to enroll and attend and complete without missing or skipping any of them, and pay for those classes out of her own pocket. She's to have no violent contact with Kiana Harvey, with Kaylin Harvey, with Paul Harvey, and Magdalene Harvey. She cannot have any violent physical and verbal altercations with any of these individuals. If she believes that she cannot restrain herself, it's highly recommended that she remove herself from their presence. She may return to live with whoever is willing to take her in, whether it's Mr. Paul Harvey or Miss Magdalene Harvey, but she'll need to update the court with her current mailing address, and we will send her notice of where she needs to come. Within 15 days, Miss Christiana Harvey will seek the assistance of either a MH evaluation or a behavioral health evaluation with the appropriate mental health or behavioral health evaluator. And based on the evaluation, she will submit to any and all treatment that's required by the evaluation. No illegal drugs, no alcoholic beverages, and you're not allowed to own or possess any firearms. So whatever home you stay, whether it's with Miss Harvey or Mr. Harvey, one of them, whoever home you occupy, they cannot own or possess any firearms as well. Your next court date will be sent to your current mailing address. If you get arrested again, if you fail to attend the classes, if you fail to do your evaluation, fail to do your treatment, or you miss a court date, this $10,000 signature bond will be converted to either a surety bond or a cash bond. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is position 16, Miss McLetchie.
Ilona McCullough McCletchie is accused of battery family violence from November 27th, 2025, case number 25CR7617J. Ms. McCletchie, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is Ms. Bader. Any priors, Ms. Harvey?
2 cycles, Your Honor. The last arrest was February 21st, 2020, out of Cobb County for aggravated assault. There was no disposition listed for this case, Your Honor, and nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Bickerstaff?
Yes, Your Honor. On yesterday, officers arrived to 6871 Peachtree, Dunwoody Road, and they spoke with the defendant, who advised that she got into a dispute with her cousin. First name is spelled Nyele, Rowe. The defendant stated that she came to the location to get her things, but everything was already packed at the front door. Officer spoke to Ms. Rowe, who advised that the defendant texted her stating that she would whoop her butt if her things were outside. And the officer saw this text message. And so Ms. Rowe told officers that a verbal argument took place between them, and it turned physical, where the defendant began punching her in her face, and the officer noted that it left bruising. And so the state's recommendation in this case is a $2,000 surety bond to have no further contact with Ms. Rowe, to stay away from the incident location, as well as no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond. I don't believe Ms. Rowe is on Zoom, but I would like to sound for her.
But she doesn't live there, right?
I just want to make sure she doesn't live there anymore.
Okay. I think it's Nyele or Nyele Rowe. ROWE. If you want to contribute, this is the time to unmute and start your video. Nope, no such luck. Ms. Barter?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. McCletchie is 24 years old. She does have a good address. The address that the court has on file for her is correct and different from the incident location. She has ties to the community. She's lived her whole life in Atlanta. Ms. Rowe isn't online. You know, this, I guess, happened yesterday. She's not online saying she's scared of her, doesn't want contact. Judge, we're asking if she qualifies for a signature bond through pretrial, if not, for the bond not to exceed a $1,000 good bond. We're fine with the stay away. We would request no further violent contact. Thank you.
On Ilona McCletchy, the bond is going to be set at 2,000. It's going to be a signature bond through pretrial services. Level 1, no further contact with Miss Niley Rowe. I have her address as Meadow Lakes Drive. Is that correct?
For Ms. Rowe? Oh, no.
Or Miss McCletchy?
Okay.
Miss
Yes.
McCletchy, what is that the correct address, Miss Bader?
Yes.
Okay. So Miss McCletchy has to stay away from 6871 Peachtree Dunwoody Road. She'll need to complete 4 anger awareness classes, no illegal drugs, no alcohol, and no weapons. Next court date will be sent to her Meadow Lake address. Thank you.
And what was that amount on the signature bond, Judge?
2,000 signature bond through pretrial.
Thank you.
Next
Level
is
1.
add-on,
Sorry,
add-on
Deputy?
7,
Add-on
add-on 7.
Okay. Did we ever get a printed calendar on the add-on?
Add-on 7 is Miss Williams.
Okay, here we go.
Adrian Williams.
I just saw it. Hang on. Let me just pull that up.
It's Adrian.
Add-on 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is Adrienne Williams. Is that correct? Is that
Yes,
correct?
Your Honor.
All right.
Yes.
And Adrienne Williams is accused of violating a family violence protective order. Her case number is 25 CR 7649Y. Incident or violation date appears to be November 26, 2024. Miss Williams, you've been advised of your rights, and your attorney is Miss Bader. Get to position number 7. All right. And any priors, Miss Harvey?
3 cycles. The last arrest was in 2012 for a failure to appear out of Cobb County. There's 1 conviction from 2012 for driving while license suspended or revoked, and nothing further.
Thank you. Miss Bickerstaff?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's asking for a $1,000 surety bond in this case and to have no further contact with Myron Johnson and to stay away from 99 Dahlia, Dahlia Avenue. Your Honor, last year on November 26th, Ms. Williams showed up to this address. She was not supposed to because there was a TPO order in place. And Mr. Johnson was able to provide that to the officer. So the state would just ask for Ms. Williams not to come to this address, not to have any contact with Mr. Johnson, and to abide by the temporary or any other order that is in place.
Do you know for a fact if the TPO has been extended or still in place?
See, I'm not sure if it's still in place. It would have.
Do you have the case number? 25 or 24 CB?
Let me go back. Let me pull
I mean,
it.
I'm assuming it's a Fulton County order.
Yes, let me pull it back up.
They got something because they offside every time they run.
We can mute courtroom 2, please.
It's loading. Let's see what comes up. Well, Your Honor, I don't have a copy of the TPO. We would have to, further look into the case, but according to the warrants, it looks like the dates are wrong on the calendar. The warrant says, no, I'm sorry. They're not wrong. It says between November 20, 2024 and yesterday's date. And what he showed the officer, it says that on November 20th of 2025, she got a TPO order where she was served and her court date of December 5th to appear in front of the court for the same incident. It looks like he may have just that Mr. Johnson may have just taken out the TPO where it was just served to Ms. Williams. So I would think that it's active.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Badir?
Yes, Your Honor. Miss Williams is 59 years old. As you heard, her last arrest was in October of 2012. If she was under the understanding that there was an order that she was to abide by, she would have done that. Miss Williams has been out of trouble for that long, and back then it was a driving charge. If this court would like her to stay away from that address, that is something she will be able to do. She has a lot of family here. She's been in Georgia her whole life. She has 2 aunts. Her first cousins live here, Covington, Conyers, etc. She has a good job working as a security supervisor. Your Honor, there's no reason to believe that she will not abide by this order or come back to court. I read the warrant to her when I interviewed her. She understands that she has a court date for December 5th to answer to. But if there was a violation, it certainly was not willful. It sounds like there was a potential notice issue if the order is valid. So we're asking for a signature bond on this case. Thank you.
Bond is set at $2,500. It's a signature bond through pretrial services level 1. No contact with Mr. Myron Johnson. Stay away from the Delia Avenue location to comply with all the provisions of the TPO that has been allegedly served upon her according to the warrant on November 20th of this year. And she must attend the court appearance for that particular case. No illegal drugs, no alcohol, no firearms. Next court date is going to be sent to her current address, and it cannot be the Delia Avenue location. Thank you.
Your Honor, I do not have a physician number for Miss Daniela Smith.
Let's see if I have. Daniela Smith is I have Adrian Williams, Craig Washington, Nathaniel Smith, Darius Shivers, Rachel. Okay. Do we have a booking number for Miss Smith?
Yes, Your Honor. Ready?
Ready?
It is 252-1388.
1388.
Smith.
And 252-1388.
Judge, that was a felony charge.
Yeah, she's got a warrant for criminal damage to property. Her case number is 25PF 010691. She has to be seen by felony first appearance. If not today, then tomorrow at 11 a.m. That's why she is not on our calendar, Deputy Milton.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thanks. Have a good afternoon, everybody.
You too. Take care. I think I've got a couple on the add-on calendar that's not been addressed.
You do, Judge. Position 1 is a behavior reset. Mr. Gonzalez Soto.
Okay, so Mr. Position 1 is going to be reset to tomorrow, November 29th.
And he will also need a Spanish interpreter.
All right, Miss Lewis, we'll definitely need a Spanish interpreter for tomorrow, okay? And
Position-
then we had position 2 on the add-on calendar. No, we addressed that. Oh, position 3, Rachel Ogun Remy.
That's a
Your
waiver.
Honor, that's a waiver, Your Honor.
That's a waiver. Okay. Let's address 25 CR 00764 Rachel Ogun Remy. And according to the calendar I just received, Miss Ogun Remy is accused of battery, family violence, and a simple battery from October 3rd of 2025.
Correct.
And any priors on her case?
Yes, Your Honor. One moment. Okay. She has 4 cycles out of Georgia, 1 cycle with ICE. The last arrest was April 22nd, 2025 out of Atlanta for a battery. There was no disposition listed for this case. There was an arrest out of Columbus, Georgia from 2017 for criminal trespass with no disposition and nothing further.
All right. And does she have an ICE hold at all?
No.
Okay.
She
All
does
right.
not.
And Miss Bickerstaff, what would you like to recommend?
On my side, it showed that the April 2025 battery was open. But the state's recommendation in the case is a $3,000 surety bond to have no further contact with the victim. Her name is Juan Chanella. That's Juanchella Kemp. Your Honor, officers arrived at a McDonald's and they spoke with Ms. Kemp, who stated that another security guard, I'm sorry, this did not happen at McDonald's. That I'm getting it mixed up with another case. But Ms. Kemp told officers another security guard that another security guard had pulled her hair. She identified the defendant as the person who pulled her hair, and she stated that she saw the defendant allow another person through a gate. And so when she questioned, when Ms. Kemp questioned the defendant, they got into an argument, and that's when she pulled her hair. Given her history, the state is asking for the $3,000 surety bond to have no further contact with Ms. Kemp, as well as no alcohol, drugs, or weapons while out on bond.
Thank you. Mr. Merrill?
Yes, excuse me. Sorry, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. Miss Rachel, she's 27 years old, Your Honor. She's actually been living in Georgia for over 10 years, and she does have a valid address out of Fulton County, Your Honor. She has graduated with her associates in medical billing and coding. Your Honor, she was working as security guard. She does indicate that Ms. Kemp and her has had contentions, but she also denies the allegations. Even in the warrant, it's one supervisor says she said it, then the other person says she did not. Miss Ogarimi says she did not pull this lady's hair, and she's never admitted a thing. Never said that she did that to any supervisor, etc. What I would be asking, Your Honor, I understand that she has an open case, so I would ask that the bond is set no higher than a $1,000 surety.
All right. Bond set at $1,000 surety bond. No further contact with Juanchella Kemp. To stay away from the Bobby Dodd Stadium at 155 North Avenue in Northwest Atlanta, unless she has valid employment. Then her employer will need to make sure that if Miss Kemp is also employed there, that their work hours are separated. Next court date is December 11th.
Position 6 was a behavior reset, Judge.
Position 6 and
Position 18 was a waiver. And position 20.
I'm sorry, position 6 was Nakia Fletcher, and we had addressed her.
On the add-on.
Oh, on the add-on. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so 6 was a behavior reset, so that's reset to November 29th. And then position 18, you say what happened?
Yes, on the regular calendar, that's a waiver.
Okay,
Correct.
Ogehi Peters, is case number 25 CR 7631C, and he's accused of battery from November 26, 2025. This is a waiver. Any priors on Mr. Obey? On Mr.
11,
Peters?
11 cycles. The last arrest was July 14th, 2025 for burglary out of Fulton County. That does appear to be an active probation case, sentenced September 22nd, so 4 years and 10 months. Also appears to be on probation for loitering and prowling and obstruction, sentenced July 10th, 2025 to 12 months probation, and on probation for battery, sentenced July 10th, 2025 to 12 months probation.
Thank
In
you.
addition, there are, okay,
Any FTAs?
no, Your Honor.
That's good. Thank you. Ms. Bickerstaff?
Yes, Your Honor. On November 26th of this year, officers were flagged down at 1105 Northside Drive. This was at a McDonald's regarding a customer fighting an employee there. Officer spoke with Keyshana Thomas, that's Keyshawnna. Ms. Thomas stated that she was in the back talking to her coworkers about a matter that involved the defendant, Mr. Peters. And as she was talking to her coworkers, she told officers that she could hear Mr. Peters yelling toward the front of the store, accusing someone of taking his money. The defendant, as Ms. Thomas came back to the front, Mr. Peters continued to yell, and that is when Mr. Peters came around the counter and he began striking Ms. Thomas in the face and the head, Your Honor. So given the alleged facts in the case and that Mr. Peters just had a battery conviction in 2025, the state's recommendation is a $3,000 surety bond to have no further contact with Ms. Thomas and to stay away from the McDonald's at 1105 Northside Drive.
Mr. Merrill or Ms.
More.
Padilla?
No, it's myself, Your Honor.
Right, sir.
So Mr. Peters, he's 34. He's a lifelong resident, Your Honor. He does have one child who was 14. He does have a mental health diagnosis of bipolar. Of course, I haven't been able to assess him or get my social worker to see if he was having an episode during that time. He is also on the mental health ward, but on the mental health floor at the jail. I mentioned that because my request that I wrote down is I was requesting a 1,000. I indicated 1,500 surety bond. We don't have an issue with staying away from the McDonald's. You understand that he's probably going to have no drugs, alcohol, weapons, the kind of standards, etc. And then Ms. Thomas is a stranger to him, so it's not like he would have ability to be able to get in contact with her.
All right, bond is set at 2,000. It's a surety bond. No contact with Keyshana Thomas. Stay away from the McDonald's at the incident location. He will need a social worker to speak with him afterwards for either MH and housing issues. And also, Mr. Merrill, do I reset him to December 11th or to a competency calendar at 11 a.m.?
He's seen competent to be able to tell me, so December 11th should be fine.
What was that bond, Judge?
2,000 surety. Okay, so we'll reset him to the December 11th at 11 a.m. calendar. Thank you. Next case, please.
Position 5, Mr. Whitaker, the Travis, he was a waiver.
All right. What about 24, Wagner?
Wagner bond was posted.
All right, so he's released. All right, 25, Dontarius Whitaker has got a PI charge from October 8th of 2025. Mr. Whitaker's case is 25 CR 7621Y. Any progress?
Hold on. Number 5, Whitaker? Is 5?
25.
Oh, 25. I'm sorry. Let me join the same page. Okay, I'm ready.
15 cycles. Last arrest was June 14, 2025 out of Atlanta for simple battery. Does appear to have an open case for aggravated assault, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. That's on the 24 SC 004602. There's an open case out of Cobb County for possession of methamphetamine, theft by receiving stolen property, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. An open case out of Fulton for terroristic threat, simple battery, 24 SC 005740. Open case for simple battery and battery under 25 CR 003342Y. On probation out of Lowndes County for aggravated assault. Sentence March 30th, 2023, 32 months confinement, 2 years and 4 months on probation. 2024 theft by shoplifting, 2017 false imprisonment, affray, and 2017 robbery, and a hold out of Cobb County. Nothing further.
Thank you. Ms. Bickerstaff?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the defendant was masturbating openly by a glass door in the jail. So the state's recommendation is $1,000 SOB through the jail.
All right. Bond is set at $1,000 signature bond through the jail. No inappropriate conduct while at Rice Street Jail. And this case is going to be reset to December 11th, along with 25 CR 003342Y.
Wait, I'm sorry. Can you say that case number again?
25 CR 003342Y.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, just to go over the calendar, position 1, Andrews was a 2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. 2, Babino was a 8,500 split bond, reset December 11th at 9 a.m. Position 3, Beatty is $1,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 4, Elazar is a 2,500 surety bond, reset December 11th. 5 is a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3. 6, same person's I think it's a 3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3.
That's correct.
7, Fong is a 3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 8, Forbes is a 3,500 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 9,
Level 2, Judge.
was it level 2? Okay, sorry about that. 9, Garrett is a 2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 3. And was it level 1?
You talking about Garrett number 9?
Yeah, Justin Garrett.
That was a split bond of $4,500. $2,500 on a good bond on the first battery, and then simple battery was a $2,000 pretrial.
You are correct. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Position 9, Justin Garrett. That's position 9 is a 4,500 split bond.
Correct.
The 2,000 is pretrial through level 3, correct?
Yes, that's on the simple battery.
Okay. Then on position 10, that's also a split bond, and that should be a $4,000 split bond, and that's 2,500 surety on the count 1 and 1,500 signature bond through pretrial level 3.
Correct.
Okay, and both cases are reset to December 11th.
Correct.
Position 11, Hartsfield's a $25 cash bond, reset December 11th. 12, Christiana Harvey's a 10,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. 13, Holiday is, my goodness, I've got $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 2. Is that correct?
Correct. That's correct.
Okay. 14, Sherrod Hunter, and he's got a split bond of 2,500, and that's reset to December 11th.
Correct.
Markel Johnson is a $1,000 surety, reset December 11th. 16, McCletchy is a 2,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 17, Moore is a $25 cash bond, reset December 11th. Peters is a 2,000 surety bond, reset December 11th at 11 a.m. 19, Profit is a $3,000 split bond, and I think the others were through the jail, wasn't it?
Yeah, $500 through the jail and $1,000 SOB through the jail on the last charge. The other one is the possession. He has to put 1,500 on.
And that's a surety bond, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And it's all reset to December
11. Okay. Position 20, Sequera, is reset to November 29th tomorrow for a Spanish interpreter. 21, Thomas is a $1,000 surety bond reset to December 11th. 22, Justin Tucker is null crossed.
And I would need that
20
null cross, whoever's gonna give it to me.
I think
it
it's going to be
Miss
Miss
Staff?
Bickerstaff, yeah. 23, Collier Tyler or Tyler Collier is a 1750 surety bond reset December 11th. 24, Wagner is released and further notice. 25, Whitaker, I don't remember.
$1,000 SOB through the jail.
Okay, $1,000 signature bond through the jail. Joseph Williams is a $1,500 surety bond, reset December 11th, along with his other open case. Okay, sorry folks, my add-on calendar is even more confusing than my SCP calendar. So let me see. Position 1, add-on calendar is reset to tomorrow for a Spanish interpreter.
And behavior.
Yeah. Position 2, Johnson's $1,000 surety bond reset to
No, it's a total $3,000 split bond, $1,000 on the battery, good bond, and $2,000 on the simple battery through pretrial level 2.
level 2. Okay, thank you. Position 3 was the victim is Guanchella Camp, and that was $1,000 surety reset December 11th.
Correct.
Okay. Position 4, Shivers was it
$6,000.
3,000?
Yeah, it's $3,000 on each, $3,000 good bond on the DUI, and a $3,000 through pretrial level 3. That's a
The reckless
$6,000 split
driving.
bond. Yeah.
Okay, so 6,000 split bond reset
Correct.
December 11th.
Correct.
Smith is a 2,000 surety bond reset December 11th.
Mhm.
And then that was
Chris.
Smith. And then is it Williams next?
No, Craig.
No, Craig Washington.
What are we doing with that case?
He was reset behavior health.
Okay, so we're going to address him tomorrow at 2 p.m. And then see if I got the last one right. Williams, 2,500 signature bond pretrial level 1. Someone give me a Kit Kat.
That's
Okay.
give me a thumbs up. That's correct.
All right, folks, we survived the post-Thanksgiving special cases. So I appreciate everyone who came here on the 26th. And I will see y'all tomorrow on November 29th at 2 p.m.
Cool.
Let's hope and pray that we have only 5 cases to address, including the 2 we reset today.
Yes.
All right,
Can I get those waivers, please? Did you send them to me already, Mr. Morrell?
No, I haven't. I'm going to work on them right now.
All waivers, any null clauses and everyone, please send them to Miss Lewis because she's going to be sending them all to me. So if you want to be in a good books for Christmas, make sure you send them very fast.
Yes.
Thank you,
I
everyone.
appreciate
Be
everybody.
safe.
Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Thank
Take
you.
care. Bye-bye.